I open an internet cafe in Naruto. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 101 Different Choices. Just after opening Diablo 2, Shikaku gave his suggestion. Unlike Kakashi's team, Shikaku's profession reduced the ability to withstand pressure, but maximized the long-range output. Only a team composed of all elite Jonin dared to do this. Others would probably fail in the zombie swarm with such a combination. Hinata Hayashi and Akimichi chose barbarians. Yamanaka Ino chose druid. Shikaku chose paladin. A Burame clan leader chose necromancer. Inozuka clan leader and 2 other clan leaders chose elementalist. As soon as they entered the game, the clan leaders team did not go to kill monsters together like the other teams. Instead, they were divided into 2 teams, each to kill monsters separately. In both teams, there was a barbarian as the main tank and a summoner as the secondary tank. With 2 tanks, as long as they did not face multiple monsters, they would definitely not die. The team with only a paladin and an elemental mage, their output is not as high as the other team with 2 elemental mage. But in general, their efficiency in killing monsters to increase points is higher than that of the other teams. This also includes Kakashi's team. As expected of an elite team composed of clan leaders, the efficiency of killing monsters is high. As the current first in this event, Kakashi's team and Ake's team naturally came to the internet cafe. When seeing the clan leaders such as Hinata Hayashi, Kakashi subconsciously felt bad. He knew very well what kind of ninja qualities these clan leaders had. Under normal circumstances, the team composed of these clan leaders would definitely win the first place in this event. But this time is not a normal situation. First of all, they have half an hour less time than other participating teams. Secondly, their game characters do not have additional help, such as the martial arts bonus of the Legend of Jin Yang. Naruto's barbarian was able to fight back and forth with the dark skeleton only after he had the dragon elephant prajna kung fu. Even so, his power was still suppressed by the dark skeleton. You can imagine how strong this skeleton is. And K was able to dodge the skeleton's attacks so many times because of the bonus of Kingan Shenxing Babian. Others were able to run to the altar smoothly because of various Kingan bonuses. So, although the clan leader team has 2 barbarian professions and 2 summoning professions, in Kakashi's opinion, they may not be able to withstand the attack of the dark skeleton. However, at this stage, the clan leader team did a very good job. It only took them an hour to eliminate all the monsters near the camp. After eliminating the monsters, they did not go straight to the evil cave, but spent some time returning to the camp for supplies. Red and blue medicine bottles must be brought, especially blue bottles. Only with enough blue can the output of the elemental mage be maximized. In order to deal damage, they also pooled their money to buy 3 high quality weapons for the 3 elemental mages, while the weapons used by the other 5 were still the blank weapons dropped by monsters. In addition to potions and weapons, they use the last bit of money to buy a scroll to return to the city. Do they want to continue to go to the wild to kill monsters after clearing the evil cave? Isn't this a bit arrogant? Not only Kakashi frowned at the operation of buying a scroll, but even K shook his head. It would be better to buy 1 or 2 more potions with the money to buy this scroll to return to the city. In their opinion, the evil cave cannot be cleared in a short time, and whether it is a group of zombies or dark skeletons, it will be very dangerous when facing these monsters. Even the fastest Kakashi team took 3 hours to clear the evil cave. Shikaku and his team are so confident that they think they can clear faster than Kakashi and his team. Is it because the clan leader team has 1 more mage and paladin than Kakashi's team? With such confusion, everyone focused on watching the operations of the clan leaders, wanting to see what they would do after entering the cave. Soon they saw it. After entering the cave, Liu Jiu did not choose the middle road, but chose the one on the left. He thought very well, first clearing out the rest of the miscellaneous soldiers, first upgrading a few levels, and changing a set of equipment to strengthen himself. This choice was somewhat unexpected. As we all know, except for a few places in the cave that are relatively spacious, the rest of the places are relatively narrow. In the past few days of activities, everyone thought that killing the zombies first, then clearing the monsters, and finally killing the dark skeletons was the best order. It is not wrong to think so. First kill the zombies, to upgrade a wave of levels, and then clear the monsters will be much easier. If you clear the monsters first, it will be time consuming and laborious. When facing the zombies, the advantage of the number of monsters is enough to make up for their level advantage. Liu Jiu actually considered these problems, and the reason why he chose this way actually has his own ideas. Time passed quickly. After the tribe leader team cleared the monsters on both sides, they returned to the original fork in the road and walked into the middle passage. Not long after they walked in, they saw a large group of zombies rushing towards them. Their own ninja qualities prevented them from panicking, but they began to move according to the plan. All summoned creatures, come on. At Rizu's command, the druid and the necromancer commanded their summons to block. This was not for attacking, but to buy time. When the summons blocked these zombies, the 8 people immediately returned to the fork in the road along the original route. The space here is obviously larger than the middle passage. Barbarians stand in the first row, and the summons are on both sides of the barbarians. The second row is the paladin and druid. The rest stand in the third row. The first row of meat shields is responsible for blocking the zombies, the second row of assistance is responsible for checking for leaks, and the third row of output is responsible for killing monsters with all their strength. The whole arrangement is reasonable and well organized. Not long after they stood in position, the zombies arrived as expected. The expansion of terrain space is a double-edged sword. Here, the clan leader team can show their true heart and maximize the attack. Similarly, here the zombies can fully play their advantage in numbers. The increasing contact area doubled the pressure on the 2 barbarians. Fortunately, there were ed potions and the help of the paladin and druid in the back to fill in the gaps, otherwise the 2 of them would definitely be drowned in the zombies. But even so, when the summoned creatures died, the druid and the necromancer summoned animals and skeletons again. A large number of zombies broke through the defense and rushed into the formation. The front row holds on, and the back row attacks freely. This small scene was not difficult for Shikaku. Under his command, the zombies that broke into the formation were quickly wiped out. We can't hold on. At this moment, the 2 barbarians couldn't hold on. Chapter 102. The Patriarch's team is awesome. Faced with so many enemies, the health of the 2 barbarians has dropped to a very scary level. At this time, their red potion is still on cooldown. If they don't retreat, they will definitely be killed by the zombies. Paladin, druid, step forward to replace the barbarians. Barbarians, retreat. Pay attention to your position. Don't make mistakes. Several people are experienced in combat in real life. After receiving Liu Jiu's order, the 4 of them just exchanged glances, and then the 2 barbarians retreated directly to the rear. At the same time, the paladin and druid immediately moved forward to fill the vacancies of the 2 barbarians. After taking the potion and resting for a while to restore their health, the 2 barbarians stepped forward to replace the paladin and druid. The whole process was smooth and there was no delay. In this way, this group of zombies was completely wiped out in the battle with the tacit cooperation of the Patriarch team. Everyone, hurry up and recover. Like many teams, they also smelled a very intoxicating smell. The only difference was that these clan leaders did not show any abnormality, nor did they go out of the cave to rest, but chose to repair on the spot. Taking advantage of this time, the elemental mages, whose health had been well maintained, began to pick up the spoils and handed them over to Rizu for unified distribution. After dealing with the zombies, the next thing was the 4 dark skeletons. When the clan leader team came to the bottom of the altar, Liu Jiu stopped everyone. Everyone, arrange the formation first. When I say 3, everyone will run to the altar together. With the team in front as a pioneer, Liu Jiu naturally knew how the dark skeleton appeared. Therefore, in order not to be surrounded and killed by the dark skeletons that suddenly appeared, Liu Jiu asked everyone to line up, with the mage first, followed by the druid and the paladin, and finally the 2 barbarians. They wanted to rush to the top of the altar regardless of the appearance of the dark skeleton, and then leave a barbarian at the passage. Druid and necromancer, pay attention to the movement of the summoned creatures. Understood. X2 OK, I'll start counting. 1 2 3 run. Shikaku was the first to step onto the altar steps. At this time, 4 beams of light appeared, and the dark skeletons appeared. The moment the skeletons appeared, the druid and the necromancer ran, while directing them to go and tangle. Well, that is to die. The summoned creature's suicide behavior bought them some time. During this time, they got rid of the encirclement of the dark skeletons, and stepped onto the stairs to the top of the altar. At this point, Shikaku's plan was half successful. Looking at the time, they had 2 hours of game time left. 2 hours, if the plan went well, would be enough for them to grind these 4 skeletons to death. Unfortunately, the plan still couldn't keep up with the changes. As mentioned above, the reason why Naruto was able to compete with the dark skeletons was largely due to the dragon elephant Prajna Sutra. The 2 barbarians here now, even if their own ninja qualities are much better than Naruto, the lack of hard power is a fatal flaw. Shikaku's dark skeleton's attack is so high, I can't stand it. As soon as he came into contact with Hayashi, he was almost chopped away by the dark skeleton. Relying on his own ability, Hayashi did not lose his position. The plan has changed. Dingzeduo, go and fill in the position. If you can't hold on, retreat. I'm behind you. The strength of the dark skeleton exceeded Shikaku's expectations. In his script, 2 barbarians took turns to replace, which should be enough to resist the dark skeleton, and then 3 elemental mages and a necromancer could output as much as they wanted in the back row. But the attack of the dark skeleton was unexpectedly high, and 2 barbarians were not enough to rotate perfectly. In the entire team, except for the 2 barbarians, only Shikaku, who was a paladin, had the highest defense. So there was no way. He, the military advisor, had to go forward to block the door and buy time for the barbarians to recover their health. Lu Jiu, hey ye, you guys get ready. I'm going to retreat. Retreat. Similar to Rizu, Dingzeduo didn't hold out for long. His own health was not enough for him to hold on. After calling Lu Jiu, Dingzeduo immediately retreated. Seeing Dingzeduo retreat, Lu Jiu first made way for half of his body to let Dingzeduo pass. At the same time, Heiyi also commanded the crow to fly in front of the dark skeleton to buy some time. When the crow died, Dingzeduo successfully retreated behind Rizu, and Lu Jiu cleanly stepped forward to fill Dingzeduo's vacancy. Lu Jiu's equipment as a paladin is worse than that of the 2 barbarians. But fortunately, the main attribute of the paladin is defense, and the points added after his upgrade are also mainly defense and health. Even if his equipment is worse, his defense is not much worse than that of the barbarians, but his health is a little less. But this is enough. The front row withstood the attack, and the back row can output as much as possible. Now, the advantage of 3 elemental mages plus 1 necromancer is reflected. Not to mention the necromancer, its summoning and curse power is not that strong. But as the highest output profession, the elemental mage's magic power is quite strong. The 3 mages did not mindlessly throw skills in the back. They also used a rotation system to ensure the uninterrupted output. Now is the time to experience patience. The attributes of the dark skeleton are powerful, and it is not easy to kill them. In addition to the back row, the attention of the 2 barbarians, the paladin and the druid must be hid to ensure that they will not make mistakes. As long as there is no mistake, it is only a matter of time before the 4 skeletons are worn out. As the heads of some ninja clans in Konoha, they will definitely not let themselves make such low-level mistakes. Therefore, after hundreds of rotations, the 4 skeletons were finally killed by them. At this time, they still had half an hour before getting off the plane, and their points were almost the same as Kakishi's team. As expected, this team is made up of clan leaders from various ninja clans. They are really amazing. Yes, they made almost no mistakes in the game, and they handled unexpected situations very well. I can only say, as expected, right? The clan leader team's operation opened the eyes of the ninjas who were watching, especially their calm attitude when facing a crisis, which was a lesson for these ninjas who had never been on the battlefield. At this time, the clan leader team still had half an hour left. Even if they walked out of the cave directly and killed some monsters, they could surpass Kakishi's team. What's more, there was a return scroll in Shikaku's backpack. In their opinion, the championship position had been taken by the clan leader team. Chapter 103 Event ends. The fact was just as everyone expected. After killing 4 skeletons and picking up the loot, Shikaku used the scroll to return to the city. The 8 people returned to the rogue camp in an instant and left the camp without staying for long. They were divided into 2 teams as at the beginning, heading in different directions, searching for monsters on the map. Half an hour later, all 8 people got off the plane. Hizu looked around and saw the awe-inspiring eyes of many ninjas. He didn't say much, but went straight to Liang. Boss, we should be the first. Based on your points, we are currently ranked first. In fact, there are only 3 hours left before the end of the event. In this time, Liang doesn't think that any team can surpass them. It's just that the event has not ended yet, so they can only be the temporary first. Hizu didn't care about the difference. Then I'll come over at 8 o'clock in the evening. After saying that, he raised his foot and wanted to leave here. When he walked to the door of the internet cafe, Hayashi suddenly turned to Hinata and Niji and said, "You two follow me, I have something to tell you." Hinata and Niji walked out after hearing Hayashi's words. Liang clearly saw that Hinata looked very nervous, but Niji looked very calm. Liang could probably guess what Hayashi wanted to say to the two. It was nothing more than the existence of the internet cafe, that Hinata's personality and strength had changed. Even Niji was different from the original. So for the development of the family, Hayashi must first care about this eldest daughter, and then explain to Niji what happened in the past. Speaking of what happened to the Hyuga clan in the past, Sarutobi Hiruzen was really unkind. When Kumogakure was sent to Konoha to sign a peace treaty with Konoha, a Kumogakure ninja tried to kidnap Hinata, but was killed by Hayashi. Afterwards, he actually bit back and asked Konoha to hand over the murderer. Logically speaking, as the victorious party in the war, Konoha would definitely not agree to such an unreasonable request, not to mention that Konoha was in the right. "Oh, your people came to arrest my people and were beaten to death, but it was my fault. Should my people let you arrest them without resistance? There is no such reason in this world." What was the result? The result was that Konoha admitted defeat and asked the Hyuga family to hand over the murderer. Hyuga Hayashi is a member of the main family. There is no way Hyuga Hayashi, as a branch family, can only stand up and take the blame. After this incident, Niji lost his father and has always hated the main family. The intention of the 3rd generation series of operations is too obvious in order to suppress the Hyuga clan. Why do you say that? The Uchiha clan in the village is itself an unstable factor. After the Ninetales incident, it has become a major concern for the core leadership of Konoha and has been gradually squeezed out of the core circle. Without the checks and balances of the Uchiha, the Hyuga clan, which is also a family of pupil techniques, has ushered in a long-term development and gradually has the ability to threaten Sarutobi Hiruzen's position as Hokage. It can be seen from the backgrounds of the candidates who have become Hokage in the past generations that they are all the pure and red Senju Hokage. The second Hokage, Senju Tobirama, needs no introduction. He is the younger brother of the first Hokage, Senju Hashirama. The third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, is the disciple of Senju Tobirama. The fourth Hokage, Namikaze Minato, is the disciple of the third Hokage, that is, the grandson of the third Hokage, a true Hokage. The future fifth Hokage, Tsunade, is the granddaughter of the first Hokage. The sixth Hokage, Kakashi, can also be considered a student of the fourth Hokage. The seventh Hokage, Uzumaki Naruto, needs no introduction either. He is the son of the fourth Hokage. In the future, the eighth Hokage will probably be the grandson of Sarutobi Hiruzen's grandson, Konohamaru. The ninth Hokage will most likely be Naruto's son, Boruto. Of course, Sarutobi Hiruzen can't see that far, but in order to prevent the position of Hokage from falling into the hands of others, he will suppress the Hyuga clan to let them know who is the boss of this village. I've said too much, let's get back to the point. Seeing Hayashi taking Hinata and Niji away, Liang turned to Shikaku and the others and asked, "Chief Hayashi said he would come back at 8 PM. Are you guys the same?" "Yes, let's leave first." "Okay, I know you are all busy, but if you really don't have time, you can come to claim your reward tomorrow." Liang knew that as clan leaders, these people naturally did not have as much free time as free ninjas. In addition to the work assigned by Konoha for them, they also had to deal with their own clan affairs, so it can be said that they had very little free time. It was already very rare for them to take 6 hours to come to the internet cafe to participate in the activities. Boss, we'll leave first. Boss, see you later. To Liang, the owner of the internet cafe, the clan leaders were very polite. After saying hello to Liang, the clan leaders left the internet cafe one after another and returned to their own clans. It's a pity that our first place was surpassed like this. After watching the 8 clan leaders leave, Naruto sighed and looked very sad. Be content, you are lucky to get the second place. At least you can choose the items yourself. Unlike us, we were originally third and could get primary weapons and equipment worth 1 million taels. In the end, we are now fourth and got nothing. Hearing this person's words, Naruto suddenly felt less sad. Sure enough, one's own happiness is built on the pain of others. When the time came to 8 o'clock in the evening, the 5-day game speed pass event was over. Now I declare that this event has ended successfully. Next is the exciting moment of receiving the awards. After Liang finished speaking, the expected lively scene did not appear, which made him a little embarrassed. Boss, let them receive their awards quickly, don't be so slow. Yeah, if it weren't for watching the awards, I would have gone back to have sex with my wife. What's hehe? Hehe means bang bang bang. What's bang bang bang? Point, go away, I don't want to talk to you. A single dog. Well, although Liang was a little unhappy, he still let the top 3 of this event come forward to receive their awards. First, the top 3 in the singles group. First place, Gekauhei 8. Second place, Shiranagenma. Third place, Yamashiro Aoba. It must be said that the ninjas who have appeared in the original anime have their own characteristics. Gekauhei 8's bloodline limit, the through escape. Shiranagenma's flying thunder formation technique. Even Yamashiro Aoba, who appeared the least and only had a brief encounter, has his own talents. Well, he is good at fire escape and summoning crows. If he hadn't been killed by Itachi, Liang would have really suspected that this guy had Uchiha blood. You 3 should go to the shopping app to select items first, and come to me to collect them after you have selected them. Chapter 104. The mission reward is a small game. Gekaugail is the first in the single group, and he can choose an item worth 2 million taels. Shiranagenjian is the second in the single group, and he can choose an item worth 1 million taels. Yamashiro Aoba is the third in the single group, and his reward autonomy is not that great, and he can only choose primary weapons and equipment worth 1 million taels. That's right, because the ninjas participating in the online group think that the difficulty of a single group is too low, so they strongly request to reduce the reward amount of the single group. The participants in the single group did not object. Compared with the online group, their difficulty is indeed not great. So Liang accepted this proposal and changed the first place's 5 million taels to 2 million taels, the second place's 2 million taels to 1 million taels, and the third place remained unchanged. This change made the third place happy and the second place unhappy. Look, Shiranagenjian is complaining. Boss, my second place seems to be no different from the third place. The amount of items selected by the second place is only 1 million taels, and the best in this range is undoubtedly the primary magic sword. But since he chose the primary magic sword, he couldn't choose anything else. So what was the difference between him and the third place? There is still a difference. Hearing Shiranagenjian's slightly complaining voice, Liang still answered him. What's the difference? Liang's answer made his eyes light up. Could it be that the second place has some hidden benefits? Well, the second place is better than the third place anyway. Okay, boss, you win. Shiranagenjian didn't continue to talk to this boss who was obviously playing a trick on him, but chose the things and clicked the mouse to confirm. Boss, I've chosen. Boss, I've chosen too. At the same time, the first place Moonlight Gale and the third place Yamashiro Aoba also chose their own things. Yamashiro Aoba had the smallest range of choices, so he wisely chose the primary magic sword like Shiranagenjian. As the champion, Moonlight Gale, after choosing a primary magic sword, also chose some recovery pills and a random movement scroll. There was no way. He wanted to exchange for a return scroll, but the price of returning to the city was twice as expensive as the price of random movement. Thinking about the functions of these pills, he finally didn't want to cancel some pills in exchange for returning to the city, but chose the random movement scroll. Okay, here are your things. The three people chose their own items, and Liang immediately received a reminder from the system. He immediately exchanged the items on the list from them all, and gave them to the three people. Ahem. Thank you, boss. In addition to the blood limit of the transparent escape, Moonlight Gale is also good at using sword techniques. In the entire Konoha, only he can use the secret of the Konoha style sword technique, the 3-day moon dance. It's a pity that his sword in the original book is not powerful, and he was actually stopped by Maki after using this secret. Now he has this elementary magic sword. If Maki still takes the 3-day moon dance like in the original book, if nothing unexpected happens, he will definitely be split in half. This shows how important his sword is as a sword user. Because of this, the moment he got the elementary magic sword, Moonlight Gale felt the power of this sword, so he felt Liang. No need to thank me, this is what you earned through your own efforts. No matter what, I still want to thank the boss. Without the boss's activities, I wouldn't be able to do it either. Okay, stop talking for now. Liang couldn't stand the rhythm of Moonlight Gale coughing every time he said a word. Didn't you exchange 4 pills to strengthen your physique and treat injuries? Take these 2 pills first. Moonlight Gale also knew that his cough was very unwelcome, so he took out 2 of the pills that he had just put into the ninja bag, put them into his mouth and swallowed them. How do you feel? After the 2 pills were taken, the surrounding ninjas stared at him, wanting to see what kind of changes he had. Well, nothing special. If I have to say something special, it's that the pills taste pretty good, and they actually taste like fruit. I didn't cough anymore. After taking the pills, the changes in Moonlight Gale were immediate. In the past, whether it was the serious dark circles that were comparable to Gaara's, or the abnormally pale face and cough, all proved that this guy was sick, and it was a very serious illness. Some bored guys may think that it is understandable that Moonlight Gale is like this now. After all, he has a beautiful girlfriend named Yuzuki Yugeo. So, you know. But those who know that Moonlight Gale's illness is actually because when he was a child, he tested out the blood limit with the ability of transparent escape. In order not to disappoint the Moonlight clan and his parents, he practiced desperately and squeezed himself hard, which caused his body to have problems. Because the medical conditions at that time were not developed, he fell into the root of the disease, causing him to look like a sick ghost. Now it's good. After taking 2 pills, Moonlight Gale's face not only began to become rosy and bloody, but even the iconic cough is gone. He made some random movements, which also showed that his limbs are now strong. It seems that his illness is really cured. Okay, the rewards for the single group have been collected, and now it's the turn of the online group. The top 3 in the online group. First place, the clan leader team. Second place, the joint team of the 3rd and 7th teams. Third place, the joint team of the 8th and 10th teams. The champion can choose an item worth 20 million teals. The runner-up can choose an item worth 10 million teals. The third place can choose weapons and equipment worth 1 million teals. The joint team of Asuma and Han has no doubt that they both chose the primary magic sword. There is no difference between the champion and the runner-up in terms of what they exchange. A primary magic sword is a must. The rest of the amount is exchanged for life-saving items such as elixirs, potions, return scrolls, random movement scrolls, etc. It is worth mentioning that all members of Kakishi's team have weapons, especially Sasuke, who actually uses an intermediate magic sword, which arouses the envy of people around him. Because they all have weapons, they exchange for items that enhance themselves and save their lives. For example, there are elixirs that increase the amount of chakra, elixirs that instantly restore chakra, and elixirs that instantly restore injuries. The first internet cafe event ended perfectly. After seeing off all the guests, Liang immediately closed the internet cafe, walked into his bedroom, and turned on the system. Ding side quest. Successfully held an internet cafe event. Completed. Completion evaluation. Good. Task reward, randomly draw a small game. That's it? Seeing that the task reward was a small game, Liang was very dissatisfied. He admitted that he made some small mistakes in this event and did not consider the difficulty and time of the game. So he accepted this good evaluation. But the system's reward was too perfunctory. What is a small game? According to the system's instructions, a game is considered a small game if its size does not exceed 100 megabytes. 100 megabytes? 100 megabytes is nothing. Downloading an episode of *** from the internet is more than 100 megabytes. With this capacity, what kind of fun game can there be? Chapter 105, The Game of Cheating. That's it? System, you can't be so cruel. I worked so hard to run this event. I was so loyal to you. My hair was falling off. In the end, you only gave me a small game as a reward. Doesn't your conscience hurt? Seeing that the reward was just a small game, Liang naturally wouldn't accept it. So he wanted to use his old tricks again, talking nonsense and annoying the system. What if the system changed his reward? However, this time the system seemed determined not to do what he wanted. Liang talked for an hour and wore his lips out, but the system still didn't respond. No, it still responded. Ding, in view of the host's extreme dissatisfaction with this reward, I would like to ask, do you want to give up this reward? After giving up the reward, the game branch, small game, will never appear again in the future. Point, you are so cruel. There was no other way. Facing such a heartless system, Liang could only choose to accept the reward. A small game is still a game after all. If he gave up, not to mention that the reward was completely gone this time, there would be no more rewards for mini-games in the future. Without the mini-game category, the system might come up with some more deceptive rewards. So, let's just play mini-games. Get the reward. With a thought, he chose to complete the task, and a lottery roulette appeared in front of Liang. A quick look showed that there were more than a dozen mini-games waiting for him to draw on the roulette. FC version, Super Mario. FC version, Contra. FC version, Maple Story. FC version, Billiards. Handheld version, Tetris. PC version, Cat Riot. PC version, Bubble Dragon. Unexpectedly, there were some treasures hidden in these dozen games. For example, the FC version of Maple Story. This game is a childhood classic, and Liang often played it when he was a child. Some of the mounts in it, according to the Ninja World, are very good summoning beasts. In the game Contra, some firearms and weapons in it can also serve as a certain supplement to the Ninja World. There is also Mario, whose mushrooms and invincible stars are also very good. Of course, there are also some bad products. For example, Cat Rio. Liang still remembers that when he first played this bad game, he thought it was a copy of Mario. But he was shocked when he played it. This is indeed a copy of Mario's Gamma Play, but the various levels in it are simply crazy. Have you seen the ground collapse while walking? Have you seen you can die by eating invincible stars? Have you seen the floating foothold suddenly move when jumping? The endless routines and fancy ways to abuse players are the core of this game. Anyway, when Liang was playing it, he wanted to smash his computer. If he really drew Cat Rio, Liang thought that if Sasuke came to play, he would probably be angry and use the 3 Megatama Sharingan. Hey, if you think about it this way, Cat Rio is not useless. Laughs. In general, the games on the lucky draw roulette are of the highest quality in the minority, while the majority are mediocre and disappointing. The lucky draw begins. As Liang drew the lottery, the roulette first slowly turned, and at this time he could still see the names of the games on it. But as time went on, the roulette spun faster and faster, just like a 3-speed electric fan, and even phantoms appeared. Let it be fate. Stop. Give me Contra, Mario, and Maple Story. As Liang shouted stop, the speed of the roulette slowly slowed down. The pointer passed Contra, Mario, and Maple Story. Seeing that the 3 high-quality games were hopeless, Liang could only pray that no disappointing games would come. No, I don't want Cat Rio. I just said that I would let Sasuke open 3 Megatama. That was a joke. System boss, don't play with me. Just kidding. If he really drew Cat Rio, Liang estimated that he would be secretly plotted against by various parties when he went out in the future. Although he was not afraid, he was also annoyed. Maybe the system heard Liang's prayer. The pointer slowly passed Mao Liu and began to point to other games. As long as it's not Mao Liu. Just when Liang breathed a sigh of relief, he saw that the pointer of the roulette wheel stopped at a game called Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird Pixel Bird. Damn, I still can't escape the pit game. That's right, this game called Pixel Bird is also a pit game. In Liang's opinion, the madness index of this game is completely comparable to Mao Liu. No, why is my hand so stinky? How did I draw this one? I can already foresee how bloody the internet cafe will be tomorrow. MD, I'm not the emperor of Europe, but an African? Shaking his head, Liang accepted his fate. It's impossible not to accept it. The game you drew won't be refunded. There is a saying that life is like that. When you can't resist, you can only enjoy it with a smile. Forget it, I don't want to think about these messes anymore. Liang forced himself to divert his attention and put his eyes on the internet cafe's turnover. TSK, it won't be long before I can complete the task again. That's great. During the 5-day event, Liang could earn 3.6 million taels of computer fees every day and a total of 18 million taels in 5 days. Some ninjas also bought some from him after seeing the effect of the elixir just now, and even sold a few elementary magic swords. The computer fees plus the cost of selling items, minus the more than 7 million taels of rewards for the top 3, Liang made a net profit of about 25 million taels in these 5 days. Seeing that the task progress bar was already halfway through, Liang smiled happily. There are still 25 days before the 3rd round of the Chunin exam. In this time, he can complete the task anyway. Liang is very much looking forward to the increased authority after completing the task. Of course, he is also looking forward to the 3-choice game. According to the previous routine, Resident Evil 1 and King of Fighters 97 that he did not choose would definitely be among the 3 choices. Liang would not choose Resident Evil 1 unless it was necessary because the cost performance was too low. Therefore, for this reward, Liang's choice range was between King of Fighters 97 and another game. I don't know what the new game is this time. I hope it is a game that is both fun and very helpful to everyone. Liang had a good idea, but there are too few games that are both fun and very helpful to Naruto and the others among the vast number of games. Fortunately, I still have King of Fighters 97 as a guarantee. Chapter 106 The Reluctance and Trio. As expected, the business is quiet again today. The internet cafe, which has been very popular for 5 consecutive days, has entered a period of calm today. However, Liang was not panicked. Even though it is still during the Chunin exam, the Jonin and Anbu ninjas have the obligation and responsibility to maintain Konoha's law and order. But the contestants who participate in the competition do not have these obligations. In order to increase their chances of winning the 3rd exam, they will definitely come back to the internet cafe. Isn't it here? Boss, good morning. Why are you here so early? That's right, you are not Konoha's ninjas and don't need to do missions. The people who came were the Sand Village team. Except for Maki, the other 3 came. Go in and choose a seat by yourself. After paying the money to Liang, the trio did not go to the computer immediately, but asked, "Boss, when is the next event?" The time of the next event is probably a few months later. Well, I can't say for sure, it depends on the situation. The holding of internet cafe activities is not so casual. First of all, there must be a good game, and then the event can be held after it is approved by the system. Of course, the system does not approve Liang to hold an event, but then he will not get the system reward. He will definitely not do anything without a reward. In fact, the game Diablo 2 is not suitable for events. At that time, he just wanted to increase the turnover of the internet cafe. Speaking of events, competitive games such as the King of Fighters 97 are the most suitable. Therefore, Liang's evaluation of this event was only good, and he did not refute anything. It will take so long. By then we will have returned to the village. It should be a month later at the earliest. After all, this event is over. Temari nodded and did not continue to ask. The three entered the internet cafe, turned on the computer, and did not even look at Chinese Paladin 1 and the newly released Pixel Bird, and directly chose Diablo 2 to play the game. Seeing that the three did not choose Chinese Paladin 1 but Diablo 2, Liang felt a little strange. Logically speaking, the temptation of flying with a sword is more attractive than the various magic in Diablo 2. Now they choose this way, there must be a reason. Temari, don't you guys want to play Chinese Paladin 1 in the new game? No, we have to complete this game first. For some reason, Liang actually heard a sense of resentment from Temari's refusal. After thinking about it, he had a guess. The Sand Village team participated in the single player competition this time. Among the 4 people, no one made it into the top 3. Among them, the best result was Maki, who ranked 5th. The worst result was Gara, who ranked 15th. Temari and Kankuro's rankings did not make it into the top 10. The reward was secondary, but this result made them unwilling. Even if the opponents they faced were all special jonin, so what? Playing games in the internet cafe, they all started from the same starting line, why can't they beat others? With this idea, Temari just asked Liang how long it would take for the next event to be held. The purpose is to prove herself again and avenge the previous shame. Liang stood quietly behind them and watched them play games. He did not tell Temari that the game chosen for the next event would not be Diablo 2 but other games. It was useless to say it because he didn't know what game the next event would be. It could be the King of Fighters 97 or something else. Who knows? Sorry, boss, we're late. More than half an hour had passed since Liang opened the store, and the internet cafe service staff's abuser, Bei and Karen finally came to the store. No need to apologize. Anyway, the business during this period can't be as good as the previous few days. The lateness of the 3 people did not make Liang angry, so he did not accept Bei's apology. Sasuke, why did you come with me? Aren't you going to do the mission today? Anyway, Naruto is here. It doesn't matter whether I go or not. Nodding, it's just some D-level missions. Naruto can handle it alone, so Sasuke is really not needed. Karen, has your body recovered? Thank you, boss. My body has almost recovered. Don't thank me. Thank Naruto if you want to thank someone. When exchanging reward items yesterday, Naruto exchanged a pill to enhance physical fitness just like Moonlight Gale. He was still wondering, only Naruto's physical fitness needs to be enhanced. I'm afraid he will become a muscular man. As a result, this guy didn't use the elixir for himself, but gave it to Karen. Karen was so moved that she almost promised to marry him. I still have to thank the boss. If it weren't for you, Naruto wouldn't have come to save me. Okay, stop thanking me. Let's go in and play games. With a wave of his hand, Haku, Karen and Sasuke entered the internet cafe to play games, but Zabuza didn't go in, but stood in front of Liang. Zabuza, what are you doing? Hearing this, Zabuza smiled and touched the back of his head and said, Boss, don't you have anything to say to me? Damn. Do I have to talk to you, just because I talked to the other 3? Where does your inexplicable confidence come from? You have 3 seconds to disappear from my sight, otherwise. Okay. Hearing Liang talking to him, Zabuza entered the internet cafe with satisfaction. Since Zabuza started playing games and watching TV series, he has become more and more funny. Now he dares to joke with Liang. No, where is your cold personality? Where is your boss's style? Did he feed it all to the dogs? As for Zabuza, Liang could only let it go. Who told him to have a good subordinate? Boss, you have a new game? After a little sigh, Liang heard Sasuke's shout. He got up from the rocking chair, entered the internet cafe, and came behind Sasuke. Well, this game called Pixel Bird is new, but this game is different from other games. It is just a small game. Small game. Sasuke, who had just been exposed to computer games for a short time, did not understand the meaning of the word small game. Small games, as the name suggests, are games with smaller capacity and volume. Compared with large games like Chinese Paladin 1, small games basically have a common disadvantage, that is, the lack of game content and relatively simple gameplay. If that's the case, then why do you want to add a small game? Isn't it better to add a big game? Hearing this, Liang was in tears. Did he not want to add a big game? He obviously couldn't. This was the system's choice. What could he do? System, it's obviously your hands that stink. Don't blame me for everything. Chapter 107 Game in progress. Play it. I think this game won't disappoint you. Maybe you will get something unexpected. At this point, Liang looked at Sasuke with a strange look in his eyes. Last night before going to bed, in order to test the quality of this small game, he played it for a while. After playing, he only said one sentence and went to sleep. That sentence was, "The system is awesome." In order to force players to play it, the system has also optimized this kind of small game. Even Liang cursed while playing, which shows how terrible the system's methods are. Since you, the boss, said so, then I will play this small game called Pixel Bird. Sasuke originally wanted to try a new game, and now he heard that there might be unexpected gains, so Sasuke must play it. This small game has no immersion mode, you can only use the normal mode. Seeing that Sasuke was about to put on the helmet, Liang spoke out the settings of a small game. Can't use the immersion mode. Sasuke was stunned, and then gave up wearing the helmet. Since only the normal mode can be selected, there is no need to wear a helmet. After opening the game, looking at the game interface, Sasuke asked, "Boss, how do you play this game?" This game is very simple. You just need to control the bird by clicking the left mouse button and let it successfully cross obstacles one by one. This game has networking and ranking functions. You can get 1 point for each obstacle the bird crosses. The player who ranks first every week can get a small gift. The player who ranks first every month can get a mysterious gift. The items in the gift are all encompassing. It may be a box of milk or a training scroll that records powerful ninjutsu. So young man, if you want these gifts, work hard. That's right, the optimization given to the Pixel Bird by the system is to add this gift system. Just like Liang said, as long as you rank first in points, you can get gifts every week and every month. He also asked the system what the difference is between a small gift and a mysterious gift. The answer he got was that there is no difference, because the things that can be opened from the two gifts are the same. If we have to say the difference, it is that the chance of getting a good item from a small gift is smaller, while the chance of getting a good item from a mysterious gift is larger. What is a good item? Anything that can help the player's strength is a good item. From various god level artifacts to various cultivation methods and healing medicines, these are all considered good items. Naturally, items that do not significantly help strength are bad items. For example, Jinkala, Many Juice, and Dogskin Plaster are bad items. Boss, you have successfully aroused my interest in this game. Obviously, Sasuke was immediately interested when he heard that there was something to be won by ranking first in points. But when he entered the game, his face began to look a little bit weird. The pixel style was terrible. There was no operation at all. The gamma play was extremely boring. This gave Sasuke an illusion. Is this really a game? If it weren't for the temptation of getting gifts by ranking first in points, Sasuke, who had only played a few games, would not have wanted to play at that time. The extremely simple pixel style, the bird that looks like a ball, 2 lifeless big eyes, a sausage mouth, and 2 small wings, looks stupid no matter how you look at it. Not to mention, the more Sasuke looks at this bird, after playing a few games, the more he feels a little silly and cute. But no matter how cute the bird is, it can't change the reality that Sasuke's highest score is 3 points. This is cheating. I don't believe that my Uchiha Sasuke can't break through 10 points. After playing more than 10 games, Sasuke still exploded. There is no way. After playing more than 10 games, people with good tempers will probably explode when they see that their highest score is only 3 points. Not to mention, Sasuke exploded after playing more than 10 games, which was beyond Liang's expectation. This shows that Sasuke's temper has really improved a lot. If he was the same person before, he would probably even want to smash the computer now. Calm down. After playing more than 10 games, Sasuke is mentally prepared this time. Click the left mouse button, and the bird flies over the first water pipe smoothly. Without clicking the mouse, let the bird's flight path go down, and then when it is close to the water pipe, immediately click the mouse to let the bird's flight path go up, so that it can pass the second water pipe smoothly. Okay, that's it. Keep it up. Sasuke, believe in yourself. You can do it. After passing the second water pipe, Sasuke thought he had found the door, and while cheering himself up, he stared at the computer screen intently. Then he fell on the third water pipe. Damn it. Continue. Sasuke was not convinced, all kinds of unconvinced. He didn't die at the hands of Uchiha Itachi, so would he die in this game? Half an hour later, the bird controlled by Sasuke has died countless times. There is no way. The mechanism of this game is like this. The bird is too easy to die. Even if Sasuke is concentrating on playing with the Sharingan, it is impossible to say that he can pass the water pipe 100%. Fortunately, after opening the Sharingan, Sasuke's insight has been greatly enhanced, and his points have been rising. At present, his highest score has reached 58 points. Sasuke is very dissatisfied with this result. He had already activated the Sharingan to cheat, and his score of 58 points was only 10 points more than Bei. That's right, with Sasuke's various complaints about the game, Bei was full of curiosity about this small game, so he also got into it. Then, he was cheated, and hasn't gotten up yet. In addition to Bei, Zabuza and Karin are also playing, but their skills are really too bad, and their points have not yet exceeded 10. The Sand Village trio is determined, and has been playing Diablo 2, ignoring this small game that Karin, Zabuza and Sasuke are all talking about. From this point, it can be seen that the Sand Village trio has great resentment for not winning the singles competition. As time goes by, more and more customers come to the door. However, they are all genin, that is, Liang's acquaintances, Shikamaru, Choji, Shino and others. When they saw Sasuke, Karin, Bei and others playing the game, they were talking eloquently. It is hard to imagine that Bei, who has always been good-tempered and gentle, is also swearing, which makes them full of interest in this magical small game. Then they joined the swearing game group together. Chapter 108 Boss, your game is poisonous. When Uzumaki Naruto and Hiruno Sakura finished 10D rank missions and came to the internet cafe, they saw their friends swearing at the game. What's going on? This was the first time Naruto and Sakura had seen everyone swearing at a game together. After saying hello to Gaara, he and Sakura came behind Sasuke and asked about the situation. Naruto, Sakura, you're finally here. Seeing his teammates coming, Sasuke first sighed and sorted out his emotions, then smiled and said to the two of them, "Do you want to play this new game? I tell you, this game is absolutely amazing. The reason we swear is because the game is so fun, we can't help it. Following the principle that, if I get cheated, you will also get cheated." Sasuke immediately changed his expression from a deep face to the sunny smile now. Sakura couldn't stand Sasuke like this the most, and immediately said that she must play. Naruto was very wary of Sasuke like this, because it was too weird. Naruto was already surprised when Sasuke changed from a cold face to a normal face. Now he has a sunny face again. If there is no trap, Naruto will never believe it. Naruto, this guy is full of malice towards you. Look, even the Kyuubi has warned Naruto. You can imagine how much resentment Sasuke has for this game, and he wants to drag everyone to be buried with him. Don't worry, Naruto, this game is really fun. That's right, didn't you see that we are all playing it? Yes, this game is the most fun game in the entire internet cafe. Seeing Naruto hesitate, Shikamaru and others on the side hurriedly spoke up to dispel his doubts. It's just that it would be fine if they didn't speak, but Naruto became more confused when they spoke. Seeing that all the friends showed almost the same sunny smiles, Naruto felt very weird. Damn, even Shino, who is always cold and doesn't like to talk, smiled at Naruto. Don't you think it's weird? Liang, who was watching from the side, was also convinced by their operation. How big of a grudge do these people have to drag Naruto into this trap? Okay, I believe you. We are companions. Naruto ignored the Ninetales warning and chose to believe everyone. In his opinion, it was just a game. Even if the difficulty was a little higher, could it be higher than the hellish difficulty of Diablo 2? He, Naruto, was a warrior who had experienced hundreds of battles. It was just a game, nothing. An hour later, when the bird controlled by Naruto hit the water pipe again, He stood up with a flick of the mouse and directly burst out the Ninetales chakra coat. With Naruto's burst, feeling the evil Ninetales chakra, the internet cafe that was just bustling immediately became quiet, immobilize. Seeing that something was wrong, Liang quickly used an immobilization technique on Naruto. Damn, Naruto, are you trying to cause trouble here? After being immobilized by Liang, Naruto suddenly woke up. Uncle, please don't do that. I'm not making trouble. I just want to stretch my muscles. My butt hurts after sitting for so long. He really wanted to stretch his muscles. If he stretched his muscles, the Ninetales chakra would burst directly. That is, in Liang's internet cafe. If the Ninetales chakra leaked outside, it would be a major event. Your butt hurts. Do you want me to rub it for you? No, I can do it myself. Naruto didn't dare to let Liang rub his butt, and he quickly refused. HMPH, just play games, don't make trouble. Letting go of Naruto, Liang didn't continue to embarrass him. Thank you, uncle, I won't do it again. Sitting down again, Naruto, who had calmed down, touched the sweat on his forehead, and then looked at the computer screen, wanting to choose a new game to play. But I don't know why, thinking of that silly and cute little bird, Naruto started the game of Pixel Bird again. As Naruto continued to play the game, the quiet internet cafe became lively again. If Sarutobi Hiruzen passed by this place at this time, he would definitely sigh that the Konoha ninjas are getting worse and worse. The world is really going downhill. People's hearts are not as good as before, and morality has fallen. Sasuke, what do you think of this game? 6 hours later, Sasuke got off the plane. Liang, who had been paying attention to him, came to him and asked him what he thought of this game. Boss, are you sure this is a game and not something you made to play with us? This is made by the system, not by me. After silently complaining, Liang said with a smile, look at what you said, how could I make a game to play with you? Sasuke obviously didn't believe what Liang said. Then boss, what's the point of this game besides getting angry? Isn't the point of the game to play? Isn't it fun? What's the point? Hearing this, Sasuke replied with a smile, the problem is that this game is not fun. Not fun? Then why did you play it for 6 hours? Hearing this, Sasuke was stunned. Yes, if it wasn't fun, why did he play for 6 hours? No, there must be something wrong. Sasuke fell into deep thought. At first, he just wanted to get first place, and then he was so angry about this game. Looking at the birds dying again and again, he always said that this was the last round and he would not play it anymore. As a result, after smashing the keyboard, breaking the mouse, opening the Sharingan, and pitting Naruto, he had played for 6 hours without realizing it. Boss, your game is poisonous. Haha, fun games are poisonous. Liang smiled and continued, let's not talk about these unhappy things. Tell me how many points you have now? Speaking of points, Sasuke immediately showed a happy look. My current points have exceeded 1000, leading the second place Bay by more than 300 points. If nothing unexpected happens, the first place will definitely be mine in a week. Thinking of the more than 1000 points he had obtained, Sasuke felt that his 6 hours of suffering experience was worth it. How come we are ahead by so much? Liang was a little surprised. According to his estimation, even if Sasuke activated the 2 Magatama Sharingan, he could only lead Bay by about 100 points. After all, Bay had a good attitude when playing games. After cursing at the beginning, he adjusted himself and did not curse. For this game, attitude is undoubtedly very important. I don't know. Originally, I was only ahead of Bay by more than 80 points, but later, I don't know why, my judgment and control of the bird's flight improved a lot, which widened the points gap. Has your Sharingan evolved? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 109, The Dark Little Guys. Sasuke was only a few tens of points ahead of Bay in the game, but suddenly his points skyrocketed, as if he had eaten Jinkella, and the gap between him and Bay widened. Liang could not think of any other reason for such a change, except that Sasuke's Sharingan had evolved. Take a look for yourself. Liang was very considerate and handed Sasuke a small mirror so that Sasuke could take a look for himself. At this time, Sasuke was a little nervous. He naturally valued the family's plug-in of Sharingan very much. Now Liang said that his Sharingan might have evolved because of playing games. Although he felt a little puzzled, he was still looking forward to it. Sharingan, open. Holding the mirror handed by Liang in his hand, Sasuke opened his Sharingan with a nervous mood. As the Sharingan opened, all 3 Megatom rivalries slowly appeared. My Sharingan has really evolved. Seeing his Sharingan change from 2 Megatoma to 3 Megatoma, Sasuke was very excited. But he still couldn't figure it out. He was just playing games, so how could this Sharingan evolve? Sasuke didn't understand, but Liang did. He knew that the Uchiha family's Sharingan could be stimulated by strong emotions and continue to evolve. There are many kinds of strong emotions, and anger is one of them. At the beginning, he thought that heartbreaking games like Pixel Bird and Cat Rio could cause Sasuke's strong emotional changes, thereby evolving his Sharingan. Unexpectedly, this one really evolved. But, how come only one eye evolved? That's right, Sasuke only has one of the 3 Megatoma Sharingan, and the other one is still 2 Megatoma. Sasuke also discovered this, but he didn't care. It's a good thing that the Sharingan has evolved. Even if only one eye has evolved now, it has greatly enhanced his insight. One eye has become 3 Megatoma, so how can the other one be far behind? Boss, do you have any more fun games like this? I want to make persistent efforts and evolve the other eye as well. Although Sasuke didn't know why his Sharingan evolved, with his intelligence, he quickly associated it with the game Pixel Bird. What did he feel when he played Pixel Bird? That must be anger, irritability, and the desire to destroy the world. Then he thought of the scene when his Sharingan evolved into a double Megatoma, and there was a great terror between life and death. Whether playing games or practicing flying swords, his emotions were stimulated. Could it be that the secret to the evolution of the Sharingan is to stimulate one's emotions? So, he wanted to try again whether this manic game would make his other Sharingan evolve into a triple Megatoma. Sorry, our store currently only has a pitfall game like Pixel Bird. If you want to play a similar game, you probably have to wait for a while. Is that so? After hearing Liang's answer, Sasuke sighed. If there is no new pitfall game, a Pixel Bird alone should not be of much use. After all, he was abused by this broken game for a full 6 hours. Didn't you see that Naruto was abused to the point of exploding the 9 tails? Such a strong emotional fluctuation made a Sharingan evolve. After 6 hours of game time, he thought he had adapted to this mode. Even if he was angry in this game in the future, he would not be as manic as today. At 3 o'clock, the internet cafe attracted another group of customers. Kakashi, Asuma, Han, aren't you going on patrol? Hayashi, Shikaku, Heiai, Akimichi, Inuzuka, the young girl clan leader, don't you have to deal with family affairs? Liang looked at these people, and then looked at Shikamaru, Hinata, Shino, Naruto and others on the side. He knew with his ass that these people must have been pulled by this group of guys. By the way, how big is the hatred? You are being abused, and you still drag your relatives to continue to abuse. And, Hinata, how did you learn to be bad? How did you become so black-bellied? Give me back the innocent and shy girl before. Mouth teeth. Hinata, all these changes of mine are because of you, boss. Well, you are a bastard who doesn't make money. Facing the guests who came to the door, Liang couldn't push them away. But after learning that everyone wanted to play Pixel Bird, he told the players very seriously that they must manage their emotions and must not make trouble in the internet cafe. Otherwise, you know. Don't worry, boss. We are all experienced ninjas. It's just a matter of controlling our emotions. It's a piece of cake. Obviously, Ake thought that Liang's reminder was a bit exaggerated. Just as he said, who among them is not strong? Even in the face of emergencies, they will remain calm under extreme conditions. How powerful can a mere game be? It's good that you have confidence. After paying the money, everyone turned on the computer skillfully. They wanted to see if this game was as good as these little guys said. Here, the adults began to prepare to play the game. Over there, Liang found Shikamaru and Zyoli and asked them what they said to this group of jonin that made them come to play the game in a group. I just told my dad that the internet cafe has launched a new game. The game will be played in a week and a month. The one with the highest score can receive mysterious reward. Dad is very interested in this reward, so I came. Shikamaru's words are normal, there is nothing to say. I told Mr. K that the new games in the internet cafe can really train you, so Zyoli was right. The game Pixel Bird can really train you, especially in terms of temper. However, Zyoli only said half of what he said. Is it really okay? Zyoli, you have become a sinister person. After a deep sigh, Liang asked other people. Naruto, I only told Mr. Kakashi that there will be some indescribable items in the weekly rewards. This kid is really a genius. He actually fooled Kakashi like this. However, according to the introduction of the system, it seems that such indescribable items can really be opened. Hinata, I told my father that this game can improve the ability of the soft fist to fight against the enemy. Well, it is not wrong to say so. The soft fist can only exert its maximum power when it is calm. With the infuriating gamma play of Pixel Bird, Hayashi will probably be able to remain calm even in any situation in the future. Of course, this requires him to be abused for a long enough time. Liang asked a circle, and everyone had his own reasons. In general, they try to arouse the other party's interest and then trick them into playing games in the internet cafe. Judging from the results, these little guys are still very successful. I hope I can face the anger of these jonins later. Why do I say that? Because K seems to be unable to control his anger. Green chakra has begun to burst out around him. Fuck, K, if you dare to open the 8 gates, I will make you run naked around Konoha in a bikini. Chapter 110 mission completed. It was not known whether it was Liang's threat that worked or the immobilization skill he used that worked. In the end, Ake calmed down. Boss, your game is really poisonous. After sighing, Ake sat back and continued to play Pixel Bird. Here, Ake's 8 gates were suppressed, and Kakashi, who was so angry that he opened the manger key, no longer had the idea of acting. Even Ake, who opened the 8 gates, was suppressed. With his manger key that he just opened, he dared to make trouble in the internet cafe. Kakashi was not that stupid. Not only Kakashi followed his heart, but the other senior ninjas also followed their hearts. However, from the way their foreheads were bulging with veins, it can be seen that they were really angry. After getting off the computer, Liang felt that the first thing these senior ninjas had to do was to beat up these little bastards, or to trick others to come and play. But anyway, they had to vent their emotions. Think about these little guys, whether it's your daughter or your apprentice, it's probably not a good idea to beat them up. So if you want to vent your anger, you can only continue to drag people into the trap. Gloating over other people's misfortunes is a bad nature of human beings, and it can't be changed. The fact is, just as Liang said, facing this group of little guys, these senior ninjas really can't do it. If they beat them up, they will suffer. So they always think that such a good game cannot be buried. Then the senior ninja group of Konoha suffered. One by one, they were so angry about this Pixel Bird that one Buddha ascended to heaven and the other Buddha was born. The ninjas from various villages who were still in Konoha were still very surprised. Why did these Konoha ninjas look like others owed him millions of dollars, and they were all angry? People from other ninja villages thought something big had happened in Konoha, but when they sent people to investigate, they naturally found nothing. Just kidding. Sarutobi Hirozen didn't have time to hide the internet cafe. How could he let these guys know about the existence of the internet cafe? Time passed for a week in the irritable and painful feelings of this group of jonin. After a week, today is the day for Pixel Bird to distribute the first gift of points. As for the reward for the first place in points, Liang was also very curious about what kind of thing would be opened. Kakashi, this is your reward. That's right, the first place in points is not Sasuke, but Kakashi. There is no way. Sasuke's Sharingan is only a 3 Magatama plus a 2 Magatama. But Kakashi, this guy, can you believe that he can directly open the manger key to play games? The number of points directly opened a level higher than the second place, so that others have no intention of catching up. Boss, are you sure this piece of paper is my prize? Yes, it is this piece of paper. You just need to tear it open. Liang was also surprised at the beginning. The small gift turned out to be a piece of paper? System, are you kidding me? After communication, the system did not tease him. The gift is this piece of paper. However, this piece of paper is not ordinary paper, but a wish paper containing thousands of gifts. As long as you imagine what you want when tearing this piece of paper, then this piece of paper will fulfill your wish. Of course, the simpler the wish, the greater the probability of success. The more difficult the wish, the lower the probability of success. After listening to Liang's explanation, Kakashi's eyes lit up, closed his eyes, made a wish, and tore the paper directly with a tearing sound. Everyone watching nearby stared at Kakashi with wide eyes, wanting to see what the gift he got was. Buzz, with a flash of light, the paper torn by Kakashi disappeared, replaced by a thicker book. Swish, the moment the book appeared, Kakashi directly put it into the ninja bag, causing most people to not see what the book was. Only Sasuke, who opened the Sharingan, Neji, who opened the Byakugan, Hayashi, Hinata and a few others saw the name of the book. Dragon X Tiger X Leopard. What kind of book is this? It's about dragons, tigers, and leopards. Is it a book about various monsters? Or is it a book with a summoning beast contract? Sasuke's Sharingan only had time to see the name of the book, but the Hyuga family's Byakugan could see through things. They saw clearly that the cover of the book seemed a bit weird. Seeing the cover, Hinata and Neji blushed, but Hayashi looked at Kakashi and smiled knowingly. I didn't expect that you, a thick-browed and big-eyed Hayashi, would be as tasteful as Kakashi. As the saying goes, all the Ivy species in the world are one family. Good people will have a peaceful life. Hayashi, Kakashi, remember to lend it to me after you finish reading it. The item Kakashi obtained was very mysterious, and this mysterious gift naturally aroused everyone's curiosity. Unfortunately, Kakashi hid it very deeply, and no matter how these people tried to test him, he would not say anything. When asked about the Hyuga family, Hayashi only showed a funny smile. When asked about Hinata and Neji, they blushed and said nothing. In the end, it was Kei, who was familiar with Kakashi, who started to associate and whispered, could this book be similar to the book Intimate Paradise? Considering that Kakashi usually kept the book Intimate Paradise in his hand, this possibility was very high. For a time, many male ninjas lined up to borrow books from Kakashi, and some women really looked at Kakashi as if he was looking at trash, which made Kakashi's head big. Fortunately, this situation did not last long, and everyone's attention was attracted by Liang's new game. These days, with the popularity of Pixel Bird, the amount of money in the internet cafe is enough to complete the task. But before completing the task, Liang made a new rule for players who play Pixel Bird. That is, it is not allowed to use pupil techniques and secret techniques that can enhance insight, and can only play games based on their usual state. If this new rule is not added, unless Sasuke can also open the manger key in the Hyuga family's Byakugan can evolve into the Samurai, Kakashi will probably be the champion every week. Except for Kakashi, no one else has any objection to this rule, so this new rule was naturally passed. After closing the store at night, Liang directly clicked to complete the task. Ding task, the amount of money in the internet cafe reaches 50 million taels completed. Task reward, 24 sets of supporting computers, 1 of 3 standalone games, and host authority upgrade. 3 standalone games, 1 of them, Resident Evil 1, story version, King of Fighters 97, 3-person team version, StarCraft, normal version, hosts current authority level. 3 inches new task, the amount of money in the internet cafe reaches 100 million taels. Task progress. 165 over 10,000 inches task reward, 48 sets of supporting computers, 1 of 3 standalone games, and host authority upgrade. Chapter 111 Unlocking a branch. After the task was completed, 24 more computers were added, and now the total number of computers in the internet cafe is 54. Fortunately, Liang spent money every day to expand the space of the internet cafe, otherwise there would be no place to put the 24 extra computers. But even so, with so many more computers, the internet cafe as a whole looks more crowded than before the event. It seems that I have to manage the internet cafe first this time, and I can't complete the task so quickly. In fact, Liang couldn't complete the task quickly. The amount of this task was 100 million taels, which was doubled. With the current customers of the internet cafe in Konoha and their financial resources, unless Sarutobi Hirozen lifted the restrictions on Chunin and Genin, it would take a lot of time to complete this task. Since it can't be upgraded quickly, the only thing to do is to build the internet cafe. At present, expanding the space of the internet cafe is the most important thing, and then adding some training rooms. To be honest, 3 training rooms are indeed a bit too few. Although not many people use the training room at present, and they all practice in reality, it is not certain when they will need it. If they build it at the last minute, it will definitely affect the overall planning of the internet cafe. In Liang's plan, the space of the internet cafe must be spacious, and the number of training rooms must not be less than 10. Let's do it this way for now. After making a rough plan, Liang entered his favorite game to choose one of 3. Resident Evil 1 and King of Fighters 97 have been mentioned above, so I will skip them now. Let's mainly talk about the new game StarCraft. Like Diablo 2, StarCraft is also a game developed by Blizzard. Unlike Diablo 2, StarCraft is an RTS, which is a real-time strategy game. In the game, the player plays a commander who not only has to command the troops to fight, but also needs to build the rear to ensure that his logistics can keep up with the consumption of the war. When he was on Earth, Liang's favorite RTS game was StarCraft. In order to play this game well, he also studied it very hard for a long time. He can do things like Carpet Airdrop, Alliance Fraud, and Matrix Lightning. However, the game StarCraft is very dependent on APM, the number of operations per minute, also known as hand speed. Most of the top players have an APM of more than 300, and only a few people do not reach 300. Liang naturally has no intention of becoming a professional player, but his hand speed is really slow, only a mere 100. With this hand speed, if you want to fight with veterans or masters, you can only rely on the overall situation. That's right. Playing this game well requires not only extremely fast hand speed, but also a big picture, that is, strategy. Therefore, this game is a game that has very high requirements for players. Well, I'm talking about ordinary people here. If it's in the ninja world, even a low-level ninja can give you an APM of more than 300. If it's a jonin, the APM is estimated to be over 500. Of course, it doesn't mean that this game only requires hand speed, but hand speed is indeed very important to this game. Liang is now stuck in his tangled time again. Resident Evil 1 is not mentioned, this is just a filler. But he wanted both King of Fighters 97 and StarCraft. On one side was the game he played in the arcade as a child, and on the other side was the game he had studied hard. No matter which one he chose, he would feel regretful. Well, since both games are so good, let's exclude personal factors and think about which game is most suitable for the ninja world. Thinking of this, the most suitable one for the ninja world is undoubtedly King of Fighters 97. Although StarCraft also has powerful psionic energy, who can blame it for saying that it is a normal version in the brackets behind the game? The 3 words normal version made Liang a little confused. Why are internet cafes now so popular with so many jonin? Is it really because these games are fun? No. That's because while playing games, they can also get the training methods of various skills, spells, in the game. After practicing these skills, spells, they can become stronger, which is why internet cafes are popular. If the game they chose this time is just for fun and can't make them stronger, then is there any meaning for such a game to exist? Maybe in the later stage, when the ninja world is at peace, everyone will accept such a game, but it is probably difficult now. Of course, Liang did not dare to guarantee that StarCraft would not make the ninjas stronger, but Liang did not dare to bet on this ordinary version. So, now the result is obvious, he chose King of Fighters 97. After choosing the game, Liang breathed a sigh of relief, and then he turned his eyes to his own upgraded permissions. Ding host permission commission, currently 3 inches unlock branches, unlock employees, and increase the right to purchase small games in the mall. MD, this has broken 100 chapters, and finally I can open a branch. There will definitely be a branch, and the title of this book explains it all. This is an internet cafe in Naruto, not in Konoha. A branch is a must. Liang began to look forward to opening a branch a long time ago, and now it's good. After the permission level reaches 3, the system has finally unlocked the permission to open a branch. But why do I feel something is wrong? If you want to open a branch, you naturally need to choose a location and funds. At present, the capital required to open the first branch is 10 million taels. Well, although this price is a bit expensive, Liang can accept it. But the location selection, why can't I decide it myself, but need to decide it through lottery? Damn. That's right, Liang can't decide the location of the branch by himself, but has to draw the address through the lottery wheel just like the last time he chose the mini game. In addition to this, what's even more tricky is that he must obtain the permission of the actual controller of the branch address before he can successfully open the branch. Otherwise, even if he has determined the address and spent money, he can't open the branch. This is a bit tricky. If Liang draws somewhere else, it's okay. If he draws the Rain Village, he must get Nagato's permission. Liang knows with his ass that Nagato will definitely not agree with him, a guy with unknown origins. Nagato disagrees, and he must open a branch. At that time, if the two can't reach an agreement, he may have to experience Nagato's ability to resist rice. It's not in his interest to confront the Akatsuki organization so early. So, system boss, even if I draw Orochimaru Sound Village, please don't let me draw the Rain Village. Please. After temporarily worshipping the system, Liang opened the big roulette. Chapter 112 Branch Address, Sand Village. There are a lot of addresses written on the roulette wheel. There are the other 4 major ninja villages besides the 5 major ninja villages, as well as small ninja villages such as Sound Village, Kusagakure Village, and Taki Village. Of course, Rain Village is definitely included. In addition to the ninja villages, there are also capitals of other countries. There are many nobles and rich people in these places, and the potential for internet cafes to make money is not inferior to that of various ninja villages. If you want to draw Rain Village among so many locations, you don't know how good or bad your luck will be to do it. Regarding the lottery, the system has always been cheating him. Let's not talk about the distant past, just talking about the matter of drawing small games. Dare you say that the system didn't cheat Liang? These days at work, Zabuza didn't continue to be funny, for fear that he would become a punching bag for these ninjas. That cautious look is really sad and lamentable. Fortunately, this time the system was merciful and did not let Liang draw Rain Village, but drew Sand Village, one of the 5 major ninja villages, which made him very comfortable. The Sand Village is currently ruled by the 4th Kazakage, but he will be killed by Orochimaru in a few days. When that happens, the Sand Village will be leaderless and can only pull out the retired Chiyo and his brother Ibizo to take charge of the situation. Liang wants to open an internet cafe in the Sand Village, and he only needs to get Chiyo's consent. By then, Temari and her group, who have seen the magic of the internet cafe in Konoha, will definitely help him convince Chiyo. And he has a trump card to deal with Chiyo. That is the news of her grandson, the Red Sand Scorpion. Under the dual banner, Chiyo has no choice but to agree. Even if Chiyo still disagrees, Liang can only use violence to make Chiyo surrender. Have you seen a 40-meter long giant sword? For the safety of the village, even if Chiyo is stubborn, she will agree. After all, she is an elder in the village, and not an undercover agent from other ninja villages. Sand Village? Not bad. To be honest, Liang is really satisfied with the address of Sand Village. The controller is easy to deal with, right? There are also people here who have seen the magic of internet cafes, and it is easy to open up the situation in the early stage. Even if the Sand Village has to pay Konoha a large sum of money because of the Konoha collapse plan, it will be difficult for itself. But a lean camel is bigger than a horse, and no matter how difficult it is much better than those small ninja villages. Compared with the irritable Cloud Village, the sinister Rock Village, and the Mist Village that was harmed by Obito, the Sand Village is considered to be very good. The location of the branch has been decided, so let me see what this employee unlocking function has. Don't come to cheat me, please. Liang nervously clicked to open the employee interface and found that the system finally did a good thing this time. There is nothing cheating in this employee function. It is better to say that it is a function specially created by the system to ensure the safety of employees. Internet Cafe Employee 0. Free employee benefits. Enjoy 20% discount on shopping and increase the internet time by 3 hours. Store manager benefits. Enjoy 30% discount on shopping and increase the internet time by 6 hours. PS. You can only set a store manager after opening a branch. Employee authority determined by the host. Employee room. 100,000 teals per square meter. Currently, the internet cafe can only recruit 3 employees. Liang is not sure whether this number is more or less, but the number will definitely increase in the future. Employee benefits are of no use to Liang, but apart from increasing the time spent online, it seems that there is nothing big about it. The shopping discount looks good, but in fact, these items are discounted at the price set by Liang. In other words, Liang only needs 100,000 teals to buy a primary magic sword from the mall, while ordinary players need 1 million teals each, and employees need 800,000 teals after enjoying the discount. Well, it's better than nothing. Why did I say that the system was created to ensure the safety of employees? The reason lies in this employee authority. As long as Liang opens up the authority to the employees, they can use various system skills in the internet cafe like Liang. If you want to manage these lawless ninjas in the internet cafe, you must have strong strength. Konoha has Liang here, so no one dares to stab him. But what about the branch? So this employee permission is very necessary. The only thing that annoys Liang is that when employees use system skills, it is charged to him. That is, the money used is from the internet cafe. System. Nonsense. You don't pay employees. Where do they get the money to use skills? Fortunately, this permission is decided by Liang, and he only needs to open some permissions for employees to use medium and low skills. The permission for advanced skills cannot be given. What if they have fun and use advanced skills every time? Then he will go bankrupt. Since the use of system skills began to be charged, he has used medium and low skills every time. In the Naruto world, this level of skills can already deal with 99.99% of people. Employees rooms. Liang will build employee rooms for them after the internet cafe space is expanded a little more. As for now, let Baion's abuser continue to live in Sasuke's house. After looking at the employee functions, Liang directly wrote Baion's abusers' names and made them official employees of the internet cafe. As for the employee privileges, Liang also opened all low-level skills for employees to use. He also selected a few mid-level skills that were powerful and not too expensive. After finishing these, he turned his attention to the mall. He opened the mall and found the sub-item of mini games. Damn, so many. After clicking on the sub-item, Liang saw a variety of mini games. There were the Mario games mentioned above, and there were also games that Liang had never seen before. Of course, these games are all mini games, and the overall capacity will not exceed 100 megabytes. If games of this size are compared in terms of gameplay, they are definitely not as good as the games obtained after completing tasks. But mini games also have their own advantages. Just like the pixel bird, didn't it successfully enable Sasuke to open the 3 Megatama? Although there was only one. Kakashi's Sharingan also successfully evolved into a main Gekio. Although he didn't know that the main Gekio had awakened a long time ago. But none of this matters. What matters is that these mini games will make these players feel different happiness. Well, which mini game will appear in the internet cafe next? Will it be this Cat Rio? Or this Tig to Survive? Or this Normal Adventure? Or even this one? Hehe, when these mini games appear, I believe these ninja players will thank me. Player, yes, we thank you. We thank your ancestors for 8 generations. Chapter 113 The King of Fighters. Good morning, boss. Boss, we are here again. Because Liang stipulated that players who play Pixel Bird cannot use pupil techniques and secret techniques that enhance insight, everyone can be said to be on the same starting line. In addition, the introduction of the prizes of Pixel Bird, which are wishes and all-encompassing, has rekindled the interest of these ninjas in this heartbreaking game. Now it is the beginning of a week, and these guys stood at the door of the internet cafe early in the morning, waiting for Liang to open the door. You came early enough, come in, don't block outside. After entering the internet cafe, facing the surge in the number of computers, these guys didn't say much, but began to pay and choose computers to use. Hey boss, you have a new game again. Let me see. It's true. Boss, you have been releasing games quite frequently recently. But, this won't be another good game that is similar to Pixel Bird. They are naturally very welcome to the emergence of new games, but they are also a little worried. One Pixel Bird has already made them angry. If there is another similar one, will they still want to live? This game is normal, you can play it without worry. With Liang's assurance, these guys also put down their guard against King of Fighters 97 and put on helmets to enter the game. By the way, I forgot to tell you, if you don't have a good experience using the opportunistic mode, you can also try the normal mode. How could Liang not be the first to try the new game? What's more, this is his childhood game, so he must experience it first. Compared with the normal version of King of Fighters, the King of Fighters, that has been optimized by the system, has an additional player team function. This is also the origin of the 3-person team version written in the brackets of King of Fighters 97. After putting on the helmet and entering the game, the player will have several choices. The first one is the single player mode, main body. Playing games in this mode will require very high requirements from the player himself. Because this is his own main body, the ninjutsu that he knows in real life can also be used in the game. What is needed is that the player's own ability is strong enough so that he can make it to the end. To be honest, Liang is looking forward to whether K, who has fully opened the 8 gates of ninjutsu, can kill the incarnation of the will of the earth, Orochi. Well, it is probably impossible. The second is the team mode, main body. This mode is an optimized version of the first one, and 3 players can team up to pass the level. The third is the single player mode, game. Choose a character in the game to possess and play the game. While possessing, the player will know all the abilities of the game character. The fourth, team mode, game, can only be selected when the player exits the immersive mode and uses the normal mode game. In other words, this mode must be played with a joystick. After Liang's experiment with the game and inquiry of the system, he learned that if you want to learn the skills of these game characters, you can only use the third mode to pass the level and then understand the training method of this character's ability. Of course, there is no way to learn if you don't have the ability to pass the level. Players can spend money in the shopping software to buy the training methods of various character abilities. In this way, the game Black Hole also has a channel to learn these unprecedented skills. If you want to say who has the strongest ability and the greatest power in the King of Fighters 97, it is definitely the various abilities of the final boss Orochi. It hurts, my friend. Black particles. The sunshines. Which skill is not powerful. However, there are very strict conditions for learning these abilities. All 4 modes must be cleared once, and then you can buy the training methods of Orochi's abilities in the shopping app. Note that it is purchased, not like other characters, where you can directly comprehend it after clearing the game. Orochi's abilities can only be practiced by purchasing, and the price of Orochi's abilities is also very expensive, with all abilities packaged at a price of 1 billion taels. This is because the system discounts the price after the package. If you buy them separately, it will be even more expensive. There is no way. Orochi's abilities are too powerful. After learning them, no matter what Otsutsuki is, they are all garbage. Half an hour later, the first ninjas who experienced it had already quit the King of Fighters 97 and started playing Pixel Bird. They needed to calm down. What's wrong with them? The 7th and 3rd teams who had just arrived at the internet cafe looked at their colleagues playing Pixel Bird happily, and the scene was so weird. No, when did Pixel Bird become a game that can make people happy? I'm afraid I'm under some illusion. Don't pay attention to them, they were just hit, and now they are using the Pixel Bird to heal. Boss, if you say that, then I'm interested. Seeing the curious faces of Ake, Kakashi and others, Liang did not hesitate to tell them about the King of Fighters 97. In other words, with their real bodies, they can't even pass the first level. Don't be so exaggerated. They are all Konoha's jonin. After listening to what Liang said, the people of Team 7 and Team 3 felt a little incredible. When did Konoha's jonin become so shameless? They can't even pass the first level. Isn't it a bit disrespectful? Ake and Kakashi didn't believe it, paid the money, turned on the computer, clicked on the game, and chose the single player, real body, mode to enter the game. Then they were taught by an old man in his 70s or 80s. Well, the old man's name is Zenuanse. Believe it now, right? Looking at Kakashi and Kei, who looked incredulous, Liang said calmly, I think you should play in normal mode first, get familiar with the game flow and the moves of each character, and then play in opportunistic mode. Boss, I listen to you. In fact, Kakashi and Kei are not that weak. The reason why they couldn't beat Zenuanse was because they didn't use their full strength. After all, there were 3 people on the other side, and they were only 1 person. What should they do with the 2 people behind them if they use their ultimate move at the beginning? There is no such thing as gathering energy when playing the game with the main body. All you consume is your own physical strength and chakra. Only when you successfully pass a level, and then your own status will be restored to fill up the beginning of the next level. Think about it, if Kei used the 8 gates to fight Zenuanse at the beginning, how would he beat the Dumpling King? How would he beat Athena? Although these 2 people are a little young, they are very strong. If you want to pass the level in single player mode, main body, you must at least learn the abilities of several game characters first, so that you have a chance to pass the level. Playing the game in normal mode is the most intuitive way to feel the abilities of the game characters. First, use the joystick to get familiar with the game, and then use the possession to understand it, so that you can exert the greatest power. Chapter 114 Teaching Battle. After deciding to use the normal mode to play the game, a joystick is indispensable. Of course, if you insist on playing the game with a keyboard, that's fine. Liang won't stop you. Here, I'll give you joysticks. He took out 2 joysticks from under the computer desk and handed them to Kakashi and Kei respectively. Since you want to get familiar with the abilities of the game characters, then you should fight each other, or you'll be killed by the enemy before you even play a few games. Kakashi didn't say much after hearing this, but Kei got excited. This game actually allows you to fight each other. Kakashi, my destined opponent. Let's see who wins and who loses. Kei was already excited here, wanting to fight Kakashi. Over there, Kakashi, who was entering the game, turned his head silently, looked at Kei blankly and asked, you were talking to me just now. Kakashi, you are indeed my destined opponent. Even if you ignore me, you can't avoid this battle. Sighing, Kakashi reluctantly started an online battle with Kei. By the way, there is a TXT file on the computer desktop. This is the move list I made specially. You can take a look. The 2 people who entered the game, but had not yet started to select characters, quickly opened the file and began to read it. In general, the move list of the King of Fighters 97 is not complicated. Moves such as Kick and Wave are mostly positive semicircles. The moves for counter-attacks are mostly negative semicircles. Moves such as special moves are mostly positive and negative semicircles, or half circles. It is very easy to remember. Kakashi and Kei did not look at it for long. There was no need to remember everyone's moves. They just needed to know how to shake out the skills and moves. Entering the game, Kakashi chose Kyoku Sanaji, Irie Yagami and Meishirinu. The 3 people Kei chose were Zenuanse, Chenguahan and Jinjapan. From the perspective of selecting characters, Kakashi undoubtedly has an advantage. Whether it is Kyoku Sanaji or Irie Yagami, they are both very powerful in normal mode. As for Meishirinu, it is estimated that Kakashi is attracted by her indescribable things. On the other hand, Chenguahan was very strong in normal mode, while Zenuanse and Jinjapan were completely lagging behind. However, since both of them were playing for the first time, they were not sure whether the characters were strong or not. The outcome would be known only after the game. In the first round, both of them mainly tried their moves and basically did not play seriously. But from the second round, the 2 began to fight in real battle. However, it looked like a fight between noobs. How about you teach us how to play? Naruto and others behind him said that the battle between Kakashi and Kei was too hot to watch. In order to prevent his Sharingan from degenerating, Sasuke suggested that Liang play. No problem for me. Well, I'll be the boss's opponent. Seeing that there was something fun to watch, Naruto, Neji and others did not continue to stand behind Kakashi and Kei, but came behind Sasuke and Liang. Enter the game and select the character, and the first teaching battle begins. Wild Bite. 9 wounds. The first character Sasuke played was Kusanagi Kyo. When Kakashi and Kei were looking at the move list, they naturally saw it behind them. Now that he had entered the game, Sasuke naturally knew how to attack some characters. The first person to appear on Liang's side was Iri Yagami. Ira's figure flashed, and he dodged Kusanagi Kyo's attack just in time. Then Liang shook the joystick, and Yagami grabbed Kusanagi Kyo with a gust of wind, and threw him to the side. He used a heavy claw before C, and then plus C. The screen flashed with light. Yagami's special move, 8 young girls. Iri Yagami's blood gushed out under a wave of claws on the screen. Even through the screen, it was still exciting to watch. This attack was very powerful. A set of combos directly knocked off 2/5 of Sasuke's Kusanagi Kyo's health. Boss is so powerful. Behind him, Naruto couldn't help but sigh at Sasuke, who had no power to fight back. This game character called Iri Yagami, his moves are so bloody and violent. Shianshin felt a bit of the beast's breath from Yagami's moves. Ignoring Naruto and the others, Yagami got a chance in the game, and won the game with the 3 moves of shit style, front C, and sunflower. You didn't wash your face. After winning, Yagami was particularly arrogant, and even said that Kusanagi Kyo didn't wash his face. Whether it was Liang's combo using Yagami, or that arrogant ending remark, all of these made Naruto and the others stunned. Afterwards, Liang directly used Yagami to hit 3 in a row, ending this teaching battle. I'll do it, Sasuke, play with me. Ninja, come and fight with me. After a game, both Sasuke and his friends behind him had gained something. At least, they knew that this game not only has powerful special moves, but also various combos. As long as they are connected, a set of moves will not lose less blood than using special moves. Boss, shall we continue? No, you play with Naruto and the others. After playing around, Liang lost interest. He had no interest in bullying. With his current rank, Sasuke and the others would probably have to practice for a week before he would be interested in taking action. Damn Sasuke, look at my ultimate move, 8 wine cups. Haha, stupid Naruto, the 8 wine cups move is useless. After Liang left, Sasuke naturally had to play with Naruto. When playing against Liang, Sasuke was a chicken. When playing against Naruto, Naruto became the chicken. To be honest, the skill of 8 wine cups is indeed very powerful. According to the level, it is simply a magical skill. Once it hits the enemy, the power of the flame itself will cause damage to his nerves and body surface. At the same time, he will stop feeling time, that is, his consciousness will become blank for a certain period of time, so that the person who is hit will feel that time has stopped. Actually, time is still passing, but the person being controlled feels that time has stopped. Unfortunately, this trick doesn't work well in the game, especially in normal mode. The 1 second pre-swing time is simply too long. Look, when Naruto uses the 8 wine cups, Sasuke controls the game character to dodge the attack with an A plus B, and by the way, he also comes to Naruto's Yagami. Front C front D plus 75 styles K plus OROCHI Kai. After this set, Yagami, who originally had little health, was directly taken away by Kusanagi Kyo. I don't believe I can't beat you, come again. Give up, Naruto, you just can't beat me. Naruto refused to admit defeat, and Sasuke didn't show weakness either. This guy also looked at Sakura insidiously, and then looked at Naruto, and raised his eyebrows. Can this be tolerated? Anyway, Naruto couldn't stand it, roared, chose a character, and continued to fight. Chapter 115 Jiraiya returns to the village. There is still half a month left before the 3rd round of the Chunin exam. At the entrance of Konoha village, the eternal gatekeepers Gangzi Tetsu and Kamatsuki Izumo were sitting in their seats, bored. Tetsu, don't you think our job is boring? Gangzi Tetsu, who had a bandage on his face and looked unkind, nodded when he heard this. Yes, although the job of gatekeeper is very important, it is indeed too boring to guard the gate like this every day. That's right, and the salary is low. Originally, as Chunin, gangs Itetsu and Kamatsuki Izumo knew how strong they were. If they went out of the village to do a mission, they might be killed outside the village that day. So when they heard that Konoha was recruiting gatekeepers, the two went to apply, and they didn't expect to succeed. They were very satisfied with this job at first. Not only was the work easy, but the monthly salary was not as much as doing missions, but it was better in that it was guaranteed to make money, and there was no danger. But after working for a long time, it was inevitable that they would feel lazy. After all, they have been guarding this gate for nearly 3 years. Hold on for a while. After the Chunin exam, our 3-year contract will expire, and we won't renew it then. That's right, just hold on for a while. He nodded. More than 2 years have passed, so 10 days or half a month won't be a big deal. By the way, let me tell you really? So there is such a thing. While the two were chatting, they didn't see that a tall figure was slowly approaching Konoha in the distance. 10 seconds later, Gangziti saw the figure and reminded Shenyu Izumo, "Okay, stop talking nonsense. Someone is coming. Let's get ready for registration." It's rare to see someone coming at this time. Wait, why does this figure look so familiar to me? Huh. At this time, the man outside the village had already walked to the gate of Konoha village. Seeing the surprised gatekeepers, he laughed and said, "Gangziti, Shenyu Izumo, you are still guarding the gate. Master Jiraiya?" That's right, this tall man was Jiraiya who had returned from collecting materials outside. "I'm not saying anything bad about you, but what's the future of this job of gatekeeper? If you still want to improve yourself, then quit this job." Patting the shoulders of the two people, Jiraiya wrote his name on the registration book and left directly. Master Jiraiya is back. I'm afraid Master Hokage will be very happy. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen was not very happy, because the newly launched King of Fighters 97 game in Liang's internet cafe is too fun. Many Enbu and Jonin are addicted to it, and they go to the internet cafe every day, causing the internet cafe to be full every day. Indeed, King of Fighters 97 is a very good game in terms of both gameplay and competitiveness. And the key point is that this game can not only compete with the computer, but also with people in reality. That is what players often call PvP and PvE. I can't beat you in reality, but you may not be able to beat me in King of Fighters. How can they not like this game that allows people to defeat the strong with the weak? Anyway, whenever Shikaku has nothing to do, Shikamaru will drag his father to the internet cafe to play King of Fighters, hoping to win a few games and get rid of the bad mood of always losing in chess. In fact, Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't mind whether the internet cafe's business is good or bad, because it is all strengthening the strength of Konoha ninjas. However, it is still the period of the Chunin exam, and there are a large number of outsiders in Konoha village. These ninjas don't go on patrol, but go to internet cafes to play games. No matter how you look at it, it makes people feel that they are distracted by playing with things. The ninjas in the Anbu are fine. They only go to play after finishing their essential work, but those free jonins have completely forgotten their obligations as jonins. One by one, they don't go on patrol and play some crappy games. Damn it, should I issue patrol missions in the name of the village? If there are missions and rewards, there will definitely be some jonin who will accept them. But if this happens, Konoha will lose a lot of money. In the past, when Konoha didn't have internet cafes, whenever there was a major incident, those jonins would voluntarily go out to patrol the streets, and they didn't have to spend a penny to maintain Konoha's law and order. It's not like now. Maintaining law and order still requires issuing missions, which is hard for Sarutobi Hiruzen to accept. Just when Sarutobi Hiruzen was struggling with whether to issue a mission, an Anbu suddenly appeared in the office. "Report to the Hokage. We found Jiraiya in the village." "Oh, Jiraiya is back. I see. You can go down." "Yes, Hokage." Jiraiya's return at this time undoubtedly gave Sarutobi Hiruzen a lot of confidence. After all, the third round of the Chunin exam is between Konoha's Genin and Sunagakure's Genin. And the fourth Kazakage of Sunagakure will also be present at the scene. It is no small matter for the Kage of one village to appear in another village. It must be ensured that there are no mistakes, otherwise it will be Konoha that will be embarrassed. The security pressure of the village is already great, and Sarutobi Hiruzen is so worried that he wants to issue tasks to let these Jonin patrol the streets. Now it's good, Jiraiya is back, and the title of one of the three ninjas can deter some people with bad intentions. But, since when did Konoha need to rely on the title of the three ninjas to deter others? Think about how powerful Konoha was during the three wars. Before, there was Konoha White Fang, Hatake Sumo. In the middle are the three ninjas of Konoha, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, and Tsunade Hime. Then there is the Golden Flash, Namikaze Minato. And he, the strongest Hokage in history, Sarutobi Hiruzen. How powerful was Konoha at that time? Even when facing the four major ninja villages, Konoha was not afraid at all, and won the battlefield war in the end. But, since when did Konoha start to become weak? Sarutobi Hiruzen thought about it. It seems that Konoha has become weak since the three wars. White Fang committed suicide, Orochimaru defected, Tsunade Hime and Jiraiya ran away, and Minato exchanged 1-for-1 to seal the Nine Tails. A large number of top fighters died or left, leaving only him and Danzo as the two top fighters. By the way, Danzo is now dead, and he is the only old man left in the whole Konoha. Sure enough, I have paid too much for Konoha. They left one by one, and fled one by one. In the end, only I stayed in Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen recalled the past, and felt very proud. But he never thought about why these people committed suicide or ran away. Doesn't he have any responsibility at all? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 116. Yes, I'm the handsome man in the ninja world, the Toad Sage Jiraiya. When Jiraiya returned to the village, he naturally had to go to the Hokage's office to meet the old man, the third Hokage. However, Jiraiya was worthy of being Sarutobi Hiruzen's disciple. After entering Konoha village, he did not go directly to see the third Hokage, but went around and came to a bathing place. Hehe, after going to so many places, the bathhouse in Konoha is still the most to my liking. The 5 major countries and some small countries make up this world. Compared with other countries, the Fire Country, which is at the center of the world, has the most abundant products. When the people of other countries are still hungry, although there are also hungry people in the Fire Country, it is much better than other countries anyway. At least people will not starve to death. As the only ninja village in the Fire Country, Konoha, the villagers here are much better. Not only can they have enough food, but they also have spare money to issue tasks. People who can have enough food will be better than those who are hungry, both in terms of mental outlook and physical state. Therefore, the number of beauties in Konoha village is naturally more than that in other places. Jiraiya must find some women who are good enough to look at. But after squatting in all the bathhouses in the ninja world, he still felt that the bathhouse in Konoha was the most suitable for him to collect materials. Because there were so many beauties there. Ah, there is someone peeping here. I don't know if it was fate or just a chance encounter. When Naruto, who had just completed his mission, passed by this bathhouse, he suddenly saw a man with white hair squatting on the wall of the bathhouse, peeping at the people inside in an obscene manner. Ah, there is a pervert. The bathhouse was filled with smoke. If no one reminded these bathers, it might be difficult to find the peeper, but it would be different if someone reminded them. At once, all kinds of bathtubs, stones, and clogs flew together, and they were thrown directly at the peeper's figure. Jiraiya, who was unable to dodge, was knocked down by these hidden weapons at the time, and then he slipped away with a touch of his feet. Seeing that the peeper had run away, Naruto nodded and felt that he had done a good thing. If everyone in Konoha were good people like me, the whole village would be so beautiful. Konoha villagers, stop talking nonsense. If everyone is like you, the whole village will be finished. Naruto walked towards the internet cafe complacently, and he didn't notice that there was a sneaky guy behind him. This kid actually embarrassed me. I have to teach him a lesson. Jiraiya behind him felt that he was wronged. As a well-known novelist in the ninja world, he was just collecting materials just now. How could it be considered peeping? Whether it was to vent the embarrassment just now, or simply to retaliate against the reporter, he had to teach this yellow-haired kid well, and let him feel the majesty of the crazy ghost Jiraiya. Kankuro can use the chakra line to trip Konohamaru, and Jiraiya, as one of the 3 ninjas, can naturally do it. After all, this is not a superb skill, as long as the chakra control is fine enough. Jiraiya wanted to teach this kid a lesson, but he didn't want to kill him. Wait until the yellow-haired kid is tripped by his chakra line, then he will make a brilliant appearance and say some words to ridicule the kid, which should be able to get rid of the bad temper in his heart. Unfortunately, the facts are different from what he imagined. Facing the sudden chakra line, Naruto was tripped without any preparation. But Naruto reacted quickly. At the moment of being tripped, he controlled the flying sword to be unsheathed and caught himself steadily when he was about to land. Who is it? Standing on the floating flying sword, Naruto stared at Jiraiya with a serious face. He knew that there were a large number of outsiders in the village during the Chunin exam. Now this person is wearing an oil-shaped forehead protector, and it is not clear which ninja village he is from. Moreover, he attacked him inexplicably, which seems to have bad intentions. Good question. Naruto's reaction was beyond Jiraiya's expectations. However, in the face of Naruto's question, Jiraiya suddenly posed, and then shook his white hair wildly. After shaking it a few times, he opened his hands, and said very imposingly, "I'm the white-haired boy and the Toad Master, one of the 3 ninjas who are invincible in the whole world. I'm a handsome guy who can make crying children shut up." The Jiraiya-sama praised by people in the ninja world refers to me. Well, Naruto was shocked by Jiraiya's operation. It was the first time he saw someone bragging about himself so shamelessly. Wouldn't this guy feel embarrassed? White-haired boy. In other words, you are still a virgin? Jiraiya's operation surprised Naruto, and Naruto's answer also surprised Jiraiya. Little brat, who said that a boy must be a virgin? And is the point of what I said about the boy? The point is obviously about the handsome guy. Also, Jiraiya, have been to all kinds of entertainment venues in the ninja world, and my experience is extremely rich. How could he be a virgin? How could Jiraiya, one of the 3 great ninjas, be a virgin? It's ridiculous, the biggest joke in the world. Listening to Jiraiya's exaggerated defense, Naruto didn't say much, but just stared at him, which made Jiraiya feel creepy. Okay, I'm a virgin. In the end, Jiraiya still admitted the fact that he was a virgin. Maybe he felt that he had lost face like this. After saying this, he quickly continued, "You don't know how many girls in the whole ninja world have a crush on me. If I wanted to, my grandson would probably be older than you now. I just want to keep myself clean and give my first time to the person I love the most. It's definitely not because no one likes me." Listening to Jiraiya continuing to self-destruct, Naruto felt that this guy was too pitiful. At such an old age, he still remains a virgin and no one likes him. He can only use pale words to numb himself and think that he is a big shot. Wait, a big shot? You just said that you are Jiraiya, one of the 3 ninjas? Jiraiya, who didn't know that he was classified as a poor man in Naruto's heart, replied proudly after hearing the question, "Yes, I'm one of the 3 legendary ninjas, Jiraiya the Toad Sage." Naruto covered his face. If the guy in front of him is really Jiraiya, one of the 3, then Naruto has seen 2 of the 3 ninjas. He thought that Orochimaru's operation of being stuck on the ground was funny enough, but he didn't expect that the guy in front of him was not much worse than Orochimaru. And the guy in front of him is not only funny, but also a pervert. Well, he is still a virgin pervert. This makes Naruto a little suspicious. Will the remaining one of the 3 ninjas also be a funny guy? Could it be that the legendary Konoha Sennin is actually composed of 3 funny guys? It is probably because the 3 of them are too funny that they were driven out of Konoha by the 3rd Hokage. At this moment, Naruto seemed to have seen through some secret, and his eyes were full of sympathy when he looked at Jiraiya. Chapter 117 Naruto vs Jiraiya. "No, I'm here to teach you a lesson. Why did I say so much to you? And kid, do you know that look of yours really makes me angry? Since he won the title of Sanin, Jiraiya hasn't seen such a sympathetic look for others for a long time. In his opinion, Naruto was looking down on him. Jiraiya, what's wrong with being a virgin? Virgins have no human rights. I'm the Toad Sage Jiraiya, who needs your sympathy. Take it, the lion hair chaos technique. Jiraiya was also very angry, but he didn't think of killing the other party. Whether it was blocking his own talent or the sympathetic look, it was just a small matter. So Jiraiya didn't use other offensive ninjutsu, just wanted to let his hair entangle the other party, and then spank his butt hard. You don't look at Naruto so funny. In fact, he has been alert to Jiraiya. After all, Jiraiya did attack him just now. Since he didn't know Jiraiya's character, it's better to be cautious. So, when Jiraiya's hair attacked, Naruto decisively controlled the flying sword and flew into the air. This kid can fly? Naruto had been stepping on the floating sword while talking to him, but floating and flying are two different things. Now that he saw that Naruto could fly, Jiraiya suddenly had an ominous premonition. Multiple shadow clone technique. Jiraiya's premonition was correct. When Naruto flew into the sky and thought that the other party could not attack him, he split dozens of shadow clones and attacked Jiraiya directly from the air. Who cares if Jiraiya, one of the three ninjas, dares to attack him, so don't blame me for fighting back. Hey, this number is too much. Jiraiya was also surprised, but the shadow clones didn't care so much. Brothers, beat him. The current situation is like Naruto is creating hail, and Jiraiya also has to avoid these hail. However, facing the suicidal attack of the shadow clones, it is difficult for him to avoid it perfectly, unless Jiraiya uses ninjutsu. No way. There were too many shadow clones, and because they fell from the sky, the speed of the shadow clones was also very fast, which made it even more difficult for Jiraiya to dodge. Since I can't dodge, then there's no need to dodge. Ninjutsu, Needle Jizo. In the end, Jiraiya did not choose an offensive ninjutsu, but a defensive ninjutsu. This ninjutsu is Jiraiya's secret technique, which hardens his long silver hair and wraps his entire body to attack nearby enemies. Not only can it defend, but it can also release the needle hell to attack distant enemies. This is a specific ninjutsu for attack and defense. Of course, now he is just defending. Needle Jizo is least afraid of physical attacks, so when the shadow clone's fist fell from the sky and attacked Jiraiya, he was not injured. Instead, Naruto's shadow clone was poked by these hard silver long hair. TSK, how troublesome. Naruto doesn't have many ways to attack now. In addition to using the sword control technique, he only has physical attacks. Since the shadow clone attack is ineffective, he will do it himself. Returning from the sky to the ground, Naruto used the sword control technique directly, controlling the flying sword to attack Jiraiya. Isn't your hair very hard? I want to see whether your hair is hard or my flying sword is sharper. Using the needle Jizo does not mean that you have to cover yourself 100%. Jiraiya still left a gap to observe Naruto's movements. Seeing that Naruto can not only fly, but also use the flying sword to attack, he immediately retracted the needle Jizo and restored his original appearance. He dared not let his hair fight against the flying sword. He had grown his hair for many years to grow like this. If he won, it would be fine, but if he lost, he would be in tears. Don't be so irritable, little brat. The flying sword attack is very sharp, but it depends on the target of the attack. Jiraiya can be one of the three ninjas, not because of his funny personality, but because of his own strength. It was just a flying sword attack. Jiraiya either dodged or blocked it with ease. Jiraiya's relaxed attitude also made Naruto sigh secretly. He is worthy of being one of the three ninjas. When he fought against Orochimaru, he used both the 10,000 swords technique and the Nine Tails power, which delayed until Red Bean appeared and allowed him to successfully escape from the battle. Now, if he wants to win this battle, he may have to use a big move like the 10,000 swords technique or the Nine Tails power. However, Naruto thought about it and realized that the two did not have any deep hatred. Whether using the 10,000 swords technique or the Nine Tails power, he thought it was unnecessary. The primary magic sword can only use the 10,000 swords technique 3 times. Every time it is used, it will be one less. He doesn't want to waste it. The Nine Tails power is similar. His current physical fitness is not enough for him to use this power perfectly. The corrosiveness of the Ninetales chakra is still very strong. Kid, don't be distracted when fighting. Naruto was considering whether to use a big move. Jiraiya saw the opportunity and used a substitution technique to avoid the attack of the flying sword. Then he appeared in front of Naruto with a teleport and used his fist to attack his face. It's really a case of searching for an iron shoe, but never finding it. Looking back sadly, the person is in the dim light Naruto was worrying about how to attack next. This time, Jiraiya approached directly, giving Naruto a chance to kill with one blow. Don't forget, he knows the dragon elephant Prajna. Seeing Naruto stretch out his fist to fight him head on, Jiraiya did not refuse, and even showed a hint of joy on his face. Under normal circumstances, when Jiraiya, one of the three ninjas, fights with a genin, the genin will suffer. But the reality is that Jiraiya was directly knocked out by Naruto. Of course, Naruto did not use his full strength, otherwise Jiraiya would not only be knocked out, but his hand would probably be broken. Damn Tsunade's super powerful fist? Well, it shouldn't be, it feels a bit wrong. If you want to say what it feels like to be attacked by Tsunade's super powerful fist, he probably knows it best. Tsunade's super strength is achieved through precise chakra control, concentrating chakra in any part of the body, and then bursting out a powerful airflow to attack others. Therefore, being hit by Tsunade's super strength punch not only has to endure the pain caused by the fist, but also has to endure the damage to the body caused by the chakra. As for Naruto's fist, Jiraiya did not feel any chakra, and there is a clear difference between the two fists in essence. This is a pure physical attack. With his back against the tree, Jiraiya looked at Naruto with shock in his eyes. It was hard for him to imagine that the little boy in front of him was born with supernatural power and could knock him away with pure physical strength. What if he learned Tsunade's super strength punch in the future? When did Konoha have such a freak? Chapter 118 Naruto's Test. Kid, what's your name? At this time, Jiraiya no longer regarded Naruto as an ordinary genin kid, but as a rising star who deserves attention. After all, not everyone can knock the Toad Sage Jiraiya away. Naruto was happy to find that Jiraiya didn't want to continue fighting because he was not the one who suffered a loss just now. When he walked closer and heard Jiraiya's question, for some reason, the scene of Jiraiya's self-introduction just now appeared in Naruto's mind. That kind of exaggerated introduction was initially felt to be exaggerated and embarrassing, but after thinking about it for a while, it actually made Naruto feel a sense of power. Thinking of this, Naruto felt that he also had to have a special self-introduction, so that he could be different from ordinary ninjas in the ninja world. He, Uzumaki Naruto, is a man who wants to become Hokage. It's not too much to have a special self-introduction, right? Ahem. Listen carefully. After thinking for a while, Naruto separated several shadow clones and introduced himself in Jiraiya's puzzled eyes. Original body, I'm clone number 1, son of the 4th Hokage. Clone number 2, Ninetale Jinchuriki. Clone number 3, survivor of the Uzumaki clan. Clone number 4, future Hokage of Konoha. Clone number 5, also the last in the ninja school. Pop. Clone number 5 disappeared in a puff of smoke. Original body, ahem, I'm Uzumaki Naruto. Idiot. After Naruto finished introducing himself, a crow suddenly flew across the sky, as if saying idiot. Kid, do you have a lot of questions? Jiraiya doesn't know what others are like, but he does have a lot of questions in his mind right now. Let's not talk about the various flaws in this self-introduction. Is it really okay for you to blast yourself as the Ninetale Jinchuriki? Has Konoha village become so open-minded now that I haven't been back for a few years? He left the village because he couldn't stand the darkness in the village, and even his teacher, the 3rd Hokage, turned a blind eye. But what is the situation now? The Ninetales Jinchuriki revealed his identity. Isn't he afraid of the hatred of the villagers? And what about the ninjas from the Anbu and the Root? The Ninetales Jinchuriki revealed his identity so openly. Where are you ninjas who are protecting monitoring him? Has Danzo also changed his ways and become a new man? Jiraiya's mood is very complicated. On the one hand, the village seems to have undergone some changes in the years since he left. On the other hand, it is because of Naruto's identity. Jiraiya doesn't care much about the Ninetales Jinchuriki. but the identity of the son of the fourth Hokage has to make him care. Speaking of which, the fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze is his disciple. As the son of Minato, Naruto can call him master, and he can totally bear it. But, it's still the same question, how did Naruto know his identity? Knowing that he is the son of the fourth Hokage, does he know his relationship with him? Naruto's self-introduction leaked too much information, causing Jiraiya to start having a headache. So, now that you know my identity, are you scared? Seeing Jiraiya's confused look, Naruto put his hands on his hips and looked very arrogant. I'm scared. I'm scared. Jiraiya woke up with a start. Seeing such a simple and unpretentious Naruto, he couldn't think of anything to say for a while, so it was worth following his words. By the way, I suddenly remembered that I have something else to do, so I'll leave first. Bye. Jiraiya didn't know how to face Naruto, and he wanted to know what kind of changes had happened in Konoha, so he ran away directly. Naruto didn't stop him. After seeing him disappear from his sight, Naruto suddenly put away his silly smile and showed a mysterious smile. In fact, after learning his identity, Naruto checked the interpersonal relationships of his father Namikaze Minato. Well, it's called checking, but in fact it's asking Liang. This is also to avoid Sarutobi Hiruzen's suspicion. Through Liang's narration, he learned that his father was a disciple of Jiraiya, one of the three ninjas. Kakashi was also his father's subordinate, and his father died under the conspiracy of the Masked Man, etc. After listening to the information, Naruto naturally cared about the identity of the Masked Man. In his opinion, Liang was so powerful that he must know the identity of this man. Yes, Liang did know, but he did not tell Naruto the identity of the Masked Man. He just told him that the Masked Man was from the Uchiha clan, and you can check who he is. Naruto was naturally a little disappointed without getting specific information. But it's not bad to get the identity. At least he can check the genealogy of the Uchiha clan with Sasuke to see if he can find this person. As for why Sasuke agreed to let Naruto look at their genealogy, it was because Liang also told Sasuke that the Masked Man was one of the culprits of the demise of the Uchiha clan. Sasuke has a good relationship with Naruto, and now they have the same enemy, so he will naturally agree to let Naruto look at the genealogy. Let's get back to the point. Jiraiya's appearance this time gave Naruto the opportunity to test Sarutobi Hiruzen. He still remembered what Liang said about Jiraiya. Although Jiraiya is also a lustful and unrestrained person who likes beautiful women and likes to peek. At the beginning, he was almost beaten to death by Tsunade, one of the three ninjas, because of peeping. But even so, he has a kind and reliable heart. Naruto believes that Liang will not lie to him. Since Liang said that Jiraiya is reliable and kind, he will believe it. It is because of knowing Jiraiya's personality information that Naruto would be so stupid as to blow up his identity. After knowing his identity, Jiraiya will definitely go to Sarutobi Hiruzen as soon as possible. He wants to see what Sarutobi Hiruzen will do after knowing this. Will he continue to fool him by pretending to be a kind old grandfather, or have a frank talk? Sarutobi Hiruzen's attitude this time will affect Uzumaki Naruto's attitude towards him and even Konoha. If Sarutobi Hiruzen took the initiative to find him and confess everything, admit his mistakes, and apologize to him, then he would also forgive the third Hokage. After all, when he was a child, when everyone around him was hostile to him, it was the third Hokage who gave him a little warmth from his grandfather. But if Sarutobi Hiruzen refused to repent, then he wouldn't mind playing with them. The emergence of the internet cafe gave Naruto the capital to play with them. What? You said Naruto doesn't have the capital? Well, you probably forgot that Sasuke has 4 large packages of gold, silver and jewelry at home. With the relationship between Naruto and Sasuke, if he really had a falling out with Konoha, he believed that Sasuke would definitely help him. It's great to have money. On the way to the internet cafe, Naruto thought about the 4 large packages in Sasuke's home and couldn't help but sigh. Chapter 119 The person behind the scenes. When Naruto came to the internet cafe to play games, Jiraiya also came to the Hokage's office at the same time. Jiraiya, how long are you going to stay this time? I guess I'll have to wait until the Chunin exam is over. Really? Then I can relax a little during this time. Haha, old man, I think you should find a candidate as soon as possible and step down from the position of Hokage. It's not easy to find a candidate for Hokage, but if you want to be Hokage, I will step down after the Chunin exam is over. No, I can't be a Hokage with my personality. After arriving at the office, Jiraiya did not directly ask about Naruto, but started to chat with him. When he heard that Sarutobi Hiruzen wanted him to be Hokage, Jiraiya refused on the surface, but secretly sneered at the proposal. Who in Konoha doesn't know that he is paving the way for Asuma? Let alone anything else. Just look at the 3 genin assigned to Asuma. Akimichi Choji, Nera Shikamaru, Yamanaka Ino. Direct members of the 3 major families of Ino, Shikamaru, and Chao. Asuma was made the leader of these 3 people in order to train his own lineage. Some people may ask, Kunoiyu his 3 subordinates are also descendants of famous families in Konoha. Does Kunoiyu have the qualifications to be Hokage? Nonsense. She has just been a jonin for a short time. Of course she is not qualified. The reason why she can become Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inuzuka, and Shinoa Burame is thanks to Asuma Sarutobi, who told her that she is the woman Asuma likes. Even if Asuma can't marry Kunoiyu in the end, it doesn't matter, just treat it as a normal assignment of graduates. But if Asuma succeeds in marrying her, then he will make a fortune. With such a relationship, when Asuma competes for Hokage, will Kunoiyu, as his wife, not let her disciples support him? Moreover, to become Hokage, not only the approval of the village's high-level officials is required, but also the approval of the far country daimyo. Asuma once joined the organization of the 12 Guardian Ninjas. This organization is responsible for protecting the daimyo of the Land of Fire, and is the daimyo's private independent direct army. With these relationships, when Asuma decides to run for Hokage, will the Hyuga family, the Inuzuka family, the Aburame family, the Inoshika Chao family, and the Sarutobi family support Asuma? When the list is submitted to the daimyo of the Land of Fire, will the daimyo nod? It was because of this that Jiraiya refused, because of his own personality incompatibility. Of course, his own personality is indeed not suitable for being Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen knew Jiraiya's personality, so he had expected Jiraiya's answer. Jiraiya, we haven't chatted like this for a long time. Yeah, it's been a long time. After chatting for a while, Jiraiya suddenly changed his tone and asked, old man, when did Naruto know his identity? Naruto knows what his identity is. Jiraiya's abrupt question made Sarutobi Hiruzen stunned for a moment, and then he suddenly reacted, and his whole face immediately turned livid. Didn't you tell him about his identity? Then where did he know it from? Jiraiya was also a little confused. He knew Naruto's childhood very well. He just couldn't stand Konoha's cruel treatment of the son of a hero. After learning about some of Konoha's darkness, he left Konoha in disappointment. Naruto's foolish self-explosion made him think that Konoha had changed its previous style of doing things. It not only recognized Naruto's identity, but also gave him the treatment he deserved. After all, with his eyesight, he could see that the flying sword was not something that an ordinary ninja could afford. At least an ordinary genin could never afford it. Now it seems that Naruto should have learned about his life experience from other places, and has not yet let Sarutobi teacher know. This is a bit embarrassing. Jiraiya, tell me about this in detail. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked very serious. Naruto's life experience could be a big deal or a small deal. On a larger scale, Konoha swallowed up the property of the 4th Hokage, and did not leave it to Naruto, and also made Naruto suffer so much when he was a child. This is a harsh treatment of the son of a hero. Although it did not violate any punishment, it will undoubtedly chill the hearts of many ninjas with children. On a smaller scale, Konoha's style will make everyone ashamed, and it is too ugly to eat. And since Naruto already knows his life experience, why didn't he publicize it in a big way? Nor did he ask himself as a Hokage in private? What does this show? This shows that Naruto already has his own ideas, and he, the 3rd generation grandfather, is probably no longer close to Naruto. Didn't you see that Naruto hasn't come to him recently? Not close is still good. If he is hostile to Naruto, even Sarutobi Hiruzen will have to be cautious. There is no way. Who calls Naruto the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki? It was because of the invasion of the Nine-Tails that the 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze used the Shikifujin. While sealing the Nine-Tails, he also lost his life. If Naruto loses control of his emotions and the Nine-Tails takes this opportunity to run out, Konoha will suffer another disaster. The 3rd Hokage had to be cautious. This is what happened. Seeing Sarutobi Hiruzen's serious look, Jiraiya also put away his nonchalant look and talked seriously about his encounter with Naruto. Even when he was defeated by Naruto, he explained it clearly. Is that so? After listening to Jiraiya's story, Sarutobi Hiruzen fell into silence. Now he couldn't understand what Naruto's attitude was. From the surface, Naruto was just imitating Jiraiya's self-introduction, so he accidentally exposed that he had learned about his life experience. If things were really that simple, then Naruto would still be the hot-blooded idiot that Sarutobi Hiruzen knew. Naruto didn't come to Sarutobi Hiruzen during this period, which can be seen as him working hard for the Chunin exam. At least Sarutobi Hiruzen knew that Naruto went to the internet cafe every day during this period. But would things really be that simple? Sarutobi Hiruzen was a little skeptical. Jiraiya, I'm a little worried about Naruto's affairs. I suspect that someone with bad intentions deliberately revealed his life experience to Naruto in order to disrupt and destroy Konoha. Jiraiya sneered at Sarutobi Hiruzen's words. It would have been much better to just announce Naruto's identity openly at the beginning, but he had to make up a rumor that Naruto was the reincarnation of a demon fox. Now, the landmine he buried almost blew him up. It's all his own fault. Jiraiya was mentally prepared for what Sarutobi Hiruzen was going to say next. It was nothing more than wanting him to get close to Naruto and find out the person behind the scenes. Jiraiya, I hope you can teach Naruto for a while and catch the person behind the scenes for me. Chapter 120 Chat. Jiraiya also didn't want to deal with Sarutobi Hiruzen. As for Uzumaki Naruto, he felt that Sarutobi Hiruzen was wrong in the first place. Now someone could tell Naruto about his life story, no matter what conspiracy that person had. It was a good thing for Naruto. However, when he thought of Naruto's miserable childhood and Minato who sacrificed his life for Konoha, Jiraiya felt as if he owed Naruto something. He didn't have the courage to confront Sarutobi Hiruzen at the beginning, so he left Konoha. If he had the courage at the beginning, Naruto's life wouldn't be so miserable. So he thought that he was responsible for this matter. Now I can only try my best to make up for it. Thinking of making up for it, taking care of Naruto for a period of time is a good choice. At most, I can just do some work and not do any effort to find the person behind the scenes. After making up his mind, Jiraiya took on this task with a tangled look on his face. Oh, you met Jiraiya? Well, uncle, what do you think I should do? In the internet cafe, after being beaten by Sasuke for several rounds of King of Fighters 97, Naruto was a little depressed and found Liang to chat, and then he told him everything about his encounter with Jiraiya. Jiraiya, he is one of the few people in the ninja world who has a kind heart. You can be completely assured of him. But, he is the disciple of the 3rd Hokage after all. So what? Liang looked at Naruto with a depressed face and said indifferently, Jiraiya is Jiraiya. Sarutobi Hiruzen is Sarutobi Hiruzen. If Jiraiya really listened to him, he would not have left the village in the first place. Nodding, Naruto also knew this. Otherwise he would not have chosen to let Jiraiya test Sarutobi Hiruzen. Don't worry, in my opinion, it won't be long before Jiraiya will use various opportunities to approach you. When the time comes, you can just treat it with a normal attitude. Who knows, he might even teach you 1 or 2 ninjutsu. TSK I don't need him to teach me. Naruto has met 2 of the 3 ninjas of Konoha and has fought with both of them. He admits that people with this title are very powerful. It's just that he can play games in the internet cafe and enter the training room to practice. So what else does he need a bicycle? Don't look down on Jiraiya. If he gets serious, he is the strongest among the 3 ninjas. Is that unreliable guy so strong? Because he has fought with Orochimaru and Jiraiya, Naruto has his own assessment of their strength. In his opinion, even if Jiraiya had held back on him just now, judging from the result, he had knocked Jiraiya away before he used his ultimate move. If he used his full strength, Jiraiya's arm would probably be broken. In contrast, when he fought Orochimaru, he even used the 10,000 swords technique and the Nine Tails chakra, but he didn't gain any advantage in the battle. It was only because Red Bean showed up with a group of people that he could leave smoothly. This is simply a clear difference. Do you think both of them used their full strength? Seeing Naruto's indifferent expression, Liang roughly knew what he was thinking. Do you think Orochimaru used his full strength when fighting you? I know he still has several big moves that he hasn't used. Orochimaru knows a lot of forbidden techniques, but there are not many powerful forbidden techniques. Most of them are used to escape or save lives. Just because there are not many does not mean that there are none. In the original work, Orochimaru's 8-headed technique is very powerful. If it weren't for Uchiha Itachi's 10-fisted sword, it would not be so easy to see Orochimaru in this state. There is also the impure world reincarnation. This technique is even more evil than the 8-headed technique. It is a forbidden technique specifically for summoning the dead. No matter which of these two forbidden techniques is used, Naruto has no chance of winning unless he is possessed by the protagonist's halo and explodes. So, Naruto, don't think that you can look down on other ninjas just because you learned some powerful abilities in the internet cafe. This is a very stupid behavior. I know, uncle. Naruto has indeed been a little arrogant recently. Liang took this opportunity to remind him to prevent Naruto from going astray. Uncle, you haven't told me why Jiraiya is the strongest among the three ninjas. After Liang's reminder, Naruto's arrogant heart has disappeared. He is now particularly interested in Jiraiya and wants to know more about his master. Since you are so interested, I will tell you about it. In addition to the energy of chakra, there is also a kind of energy called natural energy in this world. The ninjutsu that uses chakra to absorb natural energy and release it is called senjutsu. And to use senjutsu, you must enter a special state. This state is called Sage Mode in the ninja world. There are fewer people in the entire ninja world who know about Sage Mode than those who know about Jinchuriki and tailed beasts. From this you can see the preciousness of this mode. When the first Hokage of Konoha, Hashirama Senju, fought against Uchiha Madara, he entered Sage Mode and used a senjutsu called True Thousand Hands, which defeated Uchiha Madara. Sage Mode is very powerful. If you want to learn it, there are currently only 3 places. The first place is the Ryochi Cave, where Orochimaru's summoning beast belongs. The second place is the Wetbone Forest, where Tsunade's summoning beast belongs. The third place is Miyaboki Mountain, where Jiraiya's summoning beast belongs. I think you already know that Jiraiya knows senjutsu. No wonder he calls himself the Toad Sage, so that's why. After listening to Liang's introduction, Naruto suddenly realized. He thought Jiraiya's Toad Sage was just a casual remark, and he was still wondering, the word toad is not a nice word. Why did he have to call himself a toad when he wanted to give himself the title of a sage? It turns out that his summoning beast is a toad, plus he can use the Sage Mode, so he was given the title of Toad Sage. Since Jiraiya can also use sage arts, it makes no sense that Orochimaru, who is also one of the 3 ninjas, can't. Hearing this, Liang rolled his eyes at Naruto and said with a smile, "Do you think the Sage Mode is a piece of cabbage? You can learn it if you want to." Throughout the entire ninja world, there are very few people who can learn the Sage Mode. Orochimaru is a genius, but this does not prove that he can learn sage arts. In the original work, Orochimaru did not learn sage arts, so he turned to study JGO's abilities and came up with a Cursed Seal Mode. This thing is actually a low quality version of Sage Mode. While strengthening one's own combat power, one will gradually lose oneself. Chapter 121 vs Rage Yagami. After chatting for a while, Naruto no longer had any arrogance. He knew that Orochimaru and Jiraiya were still holding back when they fought him, and he should not underestimate the heroes of the world. Now it seems that his so-called test may backfire. I hope Jiraiya is really as good as the uncle said. After the conversation, Naruto sat back in his seat. This time he did not choose to continue fighting with Sasuke, but chose the single player mode. He must make himself stronger as soon as possible. If he wants to do it as soon as possible, the training room is a very good choice. The skills and magic in Diablo 2 are very powerful, but Naruto feels that these skills and magic are not very suitable for him. He still pays more attention to the character abilities in the King of Fighters 97. Not to mention Orochi, the final boss of the game. Even the ordinary Kigen wave is more powerful than some characters' special moves. But the learning difficulty is too great. You must use all the characters to pass the level once, and then buy the training secrets on the shopping app. Orochi's skills are difficult to practice, and other characters are not so particular. As long as you choose a game character and fight 3 people all the way through the game, you can automatically understand all the abilities of the game character, so that players can practice in reality without having to buy practice secrets. As a poor guy, Naruto saves every penny, so if he wants to learn the abilities of these game characters, he has to choose them to play through the game. With Naruto's game ability in normal mode, Liang thinks it will be difficult for him to pass the game. However, if Naruto plays the game in immersive mode, he still has some chances. After all, there is an essential difference between controlling the character by yourself and controlling the character with a joystick. Now Naruto has a lot of game experience in normal mode, and he has memorized some combos and special moves. Especially the character he wants to learn the ability of, he uses it to perfection. If it weren't for the poor understanding of other game characters, Naruto wouldn't have lost the game so often when playing with Sasuke. Entering the game, when it came to choosing the game character, Naruto chose his favorite character without hesitation, Yagami Iri. That's right, Naruto's favorite game character is not the handsome Kusanagi Kyo, nor is it Mei Shiranu who has a huge weapon, but the cold and unruly Iri Yagami. In fact, when Naruto was about to choose the first character with learning ability, he considered Kusanagi Kyo and Sakazuki Ryo. The reason for considering these 2 people is that they are strong in close combat. After all, this can cooperate with Naruto's own dragon elephant Borugan. But it is precisely because of the strong close combat strength of the 2 that the 2 have few long-range attack methods. After careful consideration, Naruto finally chose Iri Yagami, who is also strong in close combat and has certain long-range attack capabilities. There is the grabbing skill of the Shaving's Wind in close combat, and the long-range 108 stylus duck hook. The 2 special moves, the 8 young girls and the white wine cup, are also extremely powerful moves. It can be said that Iri Yagami's ability can further enrich Naruto's attack methods and enhance his strength, which is a perfect fit. Shitty Wind plus Sunflower Trio. Shitty Wind plus front C plus 8 girls. Jump over the head. B. Yuri Folding plus B plus Shitty Wind plus front C plus 8 girls. After the baptism of the normal mode, Naruto entered the single player mode game, and he was able to use Iri Yagami's abilities with ease. Not long after, he successfully passed the first few levels and came to the Rampage level. The reason why this level is called the Rampage level is that the character in this level is one of the 2 characters who use the blood of the Great Snake and fell into the Rampage mode. The 2 characters are Yanohara and Iri Yagami. After falling into the Rampage, their own abilities are actually the same as their normal state, but in this state, their movement and strength will be greatly enhanced, and their own consciousness will fall into unconscious madness. After reaching this level, Naruto's real test is coming. How can he face a Rampage Iri Yagami who has the same ability as him, but is faster and stronger than him? TSK, it's really hard to deal with. At the beginning of the battle, Naruto wanted to attack first and suppress the runaway Yagami with a torrential attack. However, he underestimated the speed and strength of the runaway Yagami. As soon as the 2 met, Naruto suffered a loss, which resulted in his strong attack not working, and was instead suppressed by the runaway Yagami. There is a big difference between playing games in normal mode and taking advantage of the opportunity mode. In normal mode, the computer characters in the battle are relatively rigid in their moves. After all, it is a horizontal battle game, so it is normal to have this defect. But when playing in the opportunity mode, this defect is gone. The opponent can not only attack head-on, but also attack from behind you by moving around. Defense is not to automatically defend by pulling back directly, but to see the opponent's attack route clearly, and then defend according to the situation. This invisibly increases the difficulty of the game. However, everything is relative. The opponent can attack at will, so why can't you? So Naruto always attacks at the beginning, after entering the game, using Yagami's melee ability and his own dragon elephant Baruko, and he passed the first few levels very easily. But at this point, this routine is a bit unsuccessful. Naruto, who has the dragon elephant Baruko, did not seize the rhythm of the attack, but was suppressed by the opponent in the corner, and could only passively defend. This won't work. Facing the violent attack of Yagami, Naruto didn't find any gap to counterattack. If it continues like this, no matter how good his defense is, he will definitely lose this round. Because the King of Fighters 97 has a very interesting game mechanism, that is, breaking the defense. Each game character has a defense value, most of which are 8.5, with only a few exceptions. If there is a defense value, there is naturally an attack value. The attack value of heavy punch, C, and heavy kick, D, is 1, and small tricks like dark hooks are also 1. In other words, if you use an attack like a heavy punch 9 times, your defense will be broken. After the defense is broken, there will be a relatively short period of no defense. During this time, the character cannot defend, and the attacker can attack as much as he wants. Naruto has been broken twice by the Rampage Yagami, and has lost half of his health. If he does it again, it will be game point over. In order not to lose a game so cowardly, he decided to fight hard. Hayakashiki, Onishin. After another round of defense, Naruto has adapted to the speed and attack methods of the Rampage Yagami. He saw the opportunity and directly used a big rising dragon. As the saying goes, the world's martial arts have a rising dragon. Rising dragon moves like Hayakashiki, Onishin are undoubtedly stronger than some ordinary moves in terms of judgment. Knocked to the ground by the rising dragon, the Rampage Yagami's attack was interrupted, and it was Naruto's turn to attack next. Chapter 122 Secret Technique, Cutting in Two. Naruto's attack method is very simple, that is, strong attack. As long as the opponent is trapped in defense, Naruto will have a chance to win. His defense will be broken, and the opponent's defense will also be broken. As long as the attack value exceeds the defense value, the flaw that appears is the opportunity for Naruto to reduce his health. So, no matter what he does, light hands and feet, heavy punches and heavy feet, Zaiji will be done. In this way, using the opportunity obtained by a rising dragon, Naruto directly suppressed the runaway Yagami to death. That is to say, it can be like this in the game. In reality, there is no defense value or attack value. Games are games. Even if the sense of substitution is strong in the immersive mode, it is just a game. Just as Naruto continued his journey to pass the game, another customer came to the internet cafe. This person is tall, and has long white hair to his waist. The symbol on the ninja forehead is not Konoha of the Konoha ninja village, but a royal character. He wears a red outer coat, a brown dress under the outer coat, wooden clogs on his feet, and armor-like equipment on his hands. There was a red mark painted by himself under his eyes, which made him look very individual. Yes, the person who came was Jiraiya, who was discussed by Liang and Naruto just now. Boss, I heard that you have some interesting things here. After accepting the task given by Sarutobi Hiruzen, Jiraiya wanted to continue to visit other bathhouses in Konoha. Anyway, teaching Naruto is not something that can be completed in a day or two. Besides, he didn't know where to find Naruto now. Konoha village is not really a village. Its area is not much smaller than the capital of the Land of Fire. So he thought that instead of looking for Naruto like looking for a needle in a haystack, it would be better to go to get some materials first and feast his eyes. Unfortunately, his plan was directly seen through by Sarutobi Hiruzen, who doesn't know who is his own disciple. In order to prevent Jiraiya from being lazy, he directly told him about the internet cafe. Even if Jiraiya didn't listen to him much, and was quite rebellious, he was still his disciple, a direct descendant of the Hokage. Let Jiraiya know that the internet cafe was nothing big. It would be even better if Jiraiya was attracted to the internet cafe and didn't leave. Now that the location was confirmed, Jiraiya couldn't be lazy. Read the blackboard for the rules. If you don't understand anything after reading it, you can ask Bei. Liang pointed at Bei, who was pouring water. Speaking of which, since becoming a formal employee, Zabuza has been letting himself go more and more, probably thinking that there is no danger to his life in the internet cafe. He often provokes Kakashi and asks Kakashi to play King of Fighters 97 with him. This situation makes K feel very unhappy. K, why? It was obviously me who came first, whether it was becoming Kakashi's opponent or playing King of Fighters 97. The jealous K really wants to ask Zabuza why you are so skilled in provoking. Fortunately, K took the overall situation into consideration. Even if he was very unhappy, he didn't do anything to Zabuza, although he really couldn't do anything to him in the internet cafe. Compared with Zabuza, Bei is becoming more and more like a waiter. After the space of the internet cafe was expanded again, Liang also added some small items to the internet cafe. What about automatic water dispensers, snack sales counters? These internet cafes should have. He has them here. The addition of these things has caused Bei to be busier and more like an internet cafe waiter. Okay, I'll take a look first. Jiraiya followed suit and began to read the various rules and other matters on the small blackboard. While reading the rules, he also took the opportunity to observe the entire internet cafe. After a while, he saw Naruto and Kakashi playing games, as well as some other senior ninjas from Konoha. Is this internet cafe really that magical? At this moment, even if Jiraiya no longer believed in Sarutobi Hiruzen, he now believed it a little. It's impossible that these ninjas have nothing to do and come here specifically for entertainment and relaxation. Even if the ninjas of Konoha are decadent, they won't be like this. Sir, is there anything you need? Bei, who had finished his work, saw that Jiraiya probably didn't understand a lot of things when he came to the door for the first time, so he came forward to ask. Wow, what a beautiful lady. When Jiraiya was outside the door just now, Bei was pouring water with his back to the door, so Jiraiya didn't see Bei's appearance. Now that he looked closer, this is definitely a beauty. After hearing Jiraiya's words, Bei's forehead instantly showed a well. Ever since he threatened Naruto and told him that if he didn't change his words, he would help him cut it off. Asterisk, Bei hasn't heard the name of sister for a long time. The first reason is that everyone knows that Bei is a man. The second reason is that he has to think about his lower body. Now that he heard this name, Bei was naturally very angry. Fortunately, he understood his responsibilities. Everyone who came to the door was a guest. Considering that Jiraiya was visiting for the first time, he forgave him first. This guest, I'm a man. Impossible. How can you be a boy if you are so beautiful? You must be lying to me. After hearing Bei's answer, Jiraiya couldn't believe it. A man actually looked more beautiful than some women. This simply overshadowed his perception of men. A man should look like me, masculine and handsome. You said a man looks like a woman, what's the matter? But the more Jiraiya looked at Bei's face, the more beautiful he thought it was. Looking at it, Jiraiya suddenly muttered, it doesn't matter if she is a man, if she is so beautiful. Well, it can only be said that it is worthy of Jiraiya, and it is rare to be so lustful. Liang knew that Jiraiya was just a playboy, otherwise he would not be a virgin now. But he knew it, but others didn't. After hearing Jiraiya's explicit words, Bei was completely furious. Asshole. At this moment, Bei suddenly took out a large pair of scissors from the cabinet. It can be seen that this pair of scissors was specially made to punish such guys. Watch this, cut it in half. Fuck, are you serious? Originally, Jiraiya was shocked when he saw Bei took out the scissors, and when he saw that he was still attacking his lower body, he immediately began to dodge. Don't dodge, let me cut. I won't dodge if you don't do it. Don't worry, my hands are very fast, it won't hurt. Only a fool would believe that I'll dodge. Facing the attack, Jiraiya ran out of the internet cafe directly, and Bei followed closely behind. Liang, the great Bei, he inherited the glorious mission of his ancestors. Lu and K are possessed by their souls at this moment, determined to prove that they are men, not women. Bei, he is not fighting alone now, he is not alone. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 123's Abuser, come on, old Jen. Boss, am I still your employee? I was bullied, and not only did you not come to help, you even said something sarcastic. Bae's abuser have been in the internet cafe for several days, and they know Liang's character better. As long as it doesn't touch Liang's bottom line, it's okay to joke around occasionally. After a while, the relationship between the boss and the employee changed from strangers at the beginning to friends who can chat. Do you want me to help you? Liang looked at Jiraiya, who was chased by Bae, and felt a little bit reluctant. Boss, help me, I must make him pay a price. Cutting JJ is just a joke. Bae will not make people exterminate their descendants because of a few words. However, in order to prevent future generations from imitating, it is necessary to teach them a lesson. Bae, I'm a real man, not a pseudo girl or a sissy. Okay. Seeing that Bae really needed help, Liang stood up without saying a word and shouted to the inside of the internet cafe, Zabuza, come out quickly, someone is bullying Bae. Zabuza, who dares to bully my tool man, don't you want to live? Zabuza, who was playing games, put down the game in his hand and walked out of the internet cafe with murderous intent. However, when he looked closely, the long white hair and the greasy forehead protector is that Jiraiya. The weather is really good today, suitable for playing games. As he spoke, Zabuza returned to the internet cafe directly and sat in his seat to continue playing the game just now, as if he had never appeared. Liang, hey, I have helped to call someone, but it's a pity that the person is a bit cowardly and refuses to help. Seeing Zabuza so cowardly, Bae was speechless. Liang sat on the rocking chair to watch the fun. Zabuza couldn't help in reality, and for a moment Bae didn't want to teach Jiraiya a lesson. Ice escape, spit in your face. No one helped, and he couldn't catch up, so Bae could only spit a few mouthfuls of broken ice at Jiraiya's figure, and then ended the farce. Sister Bae, brother Bae, are you okay? Do you want us to help you teach that old pervert a lesson? Liang's roar just now was heard by all the guests in the internet cafe. Naruto, who had a good relationship with Bae, immediately paused the game and wanted to get off the computer to help Bae. When he saw Zabuza go out, he thought he didn't need help. Unexpectedly, Zabuza was so sincere that he went back to the internet cafe directly after seeing Jiraiya. This made Naruto feel very ashamed of Zabuza's behavior. In fact, Zabuza was also bitter. He didn't know which great god he had offended. Now he was going to kill Orochimaru and offended this poisonous snake. This was not bad. After all, Orochimaru was a traitor of Konoha, and he was not a fake jonin. If he dared to take action in Konoha, he just had to delay for some time and wait for the arrival of Konoha Zanbu. But Jiraiya is not a traitor. He is a direct descendant of the Hokage. He can still survive in Konoha if he offends Orochimaru, but if he offends Jiraiya, then he should not even leave the internet cafe. Didn't you see that some of the Anbu players next to him are looking at him with ill intentions? Who knows, when he walks out of the internet cafe, he will be hit by a club. He also came out, Jiraiya is just playing with Bae. Didn't you see that the boss also looks like he is enjoying the show? Since the boss is not angry, then there is no big problem. Zabuza, I'm not a coward. This is called a strategic transfer. When I'm strong, we will settle the old and new accounts together. Come on, old Jen. Forget it, Naruto. It's just a small matter. Back to the internet cafe. Bae's anger has subsided a lot. Although the previous operation did not achieve the goal, after his fuss, most people will definitely not talk nonsense about his gender. Just kidding. He just chased Jiraiya with a pair of big scissors and said he was going to perform surgery on him. Who would dare to mess with him in the future? Brother Bae, if you have anything to say, just tell me. Thank you, Naruto. The internet cafe returned to normal, and Jiraiya carefully returned to the door of the internet cafe. I don't think so. You, one of the three ninjas, are afraid of a waiter? I'm not afraid. Perhaps thinking that the previous operation would damage his dignity, Jiraiya tried his best to clarify. I'm not afraid that I will hurt him if I use too much force. After all, I said the wrong thing, and it's right for him to vent his emotions. To be honest, although Zabuza and Bae have been in the internet cafe for some time, even if they go together now, they will only be defeated against Jiraiya. After all, the two have no salary and cannot use the training room. If they want to learn the skills, spells, in the game, they can only rely on themselves to practice in reality. Fortunately, they can use system skills in the internet cafe, so they won't be bullied by others. Okay, I believe you. Are you still using the internet? Yes, of course not. After paying the 1-hour internet fee, Jiraiya pretended to be calm and entered the internet cafe, sitting next to Naruto. He did not forget that he had a mission to teach Naruto. If he wanted to teach Naruto, he must first establish a good relationship with him. That's why he chose to sit next to Naruto. Naruto, you see, we are acquainted with each other. This is my first time in the internet cafe, so can you teach me? Hearing Jiraiya's voice, Naruto paused the game again, turned to Jiraiya and said, if you don't understand anything, you can ask. You have offended Brother Bay, and it's not good to ask him rashly. Tell me, what's wrong with you, or what game do you want to play? Naruto decided to listen to Liang and treat Jiraiya with a normal heart to see if this lustful old man is really as kind and reliable as Liang said. What game are you playing? The game I'm playing now is called The King of Fighters 97. Why don't you try this first? No, not really, but I still suggest you play The Legend of the Condor Heroes first, and then play other games, after you have acquired an external skill and a light skill. Why does Liang always suggest that new customers play The Legend of the Condor Heroes first? Because this game is a welfare game given by the system. After choosing a set of martial arts learned in the game as real martial arts, it can be used not only in reality, but also in other games. If it weren't for the Dragon Elephant Borugan, it would be really difficult for Naruto to pass the level of the runaway Hachiman. Is that so? Then I'll try this The Legend of the Condor Heroes first. There is a game guide on the computer desktop. You can take a look first. Okay. Chapter 124 Teachings. The sun sets and night falls. When all the customers of the internet cafe have left, and Liang is about to close the door, a figure suddenly stands in front of the internet cafe. Boss Jet, are you closing so early? Liang, this is the system's rule. I don't want to close so early. It's Orochimaru. I thought you broke your promise. The third exam is not long away. Liang still remembers that in the original work, Orochimaru had to go to the Land of Sand to attack the 4th generation Kazekage who came to Konoha. Calculating the time, Orochimaru should take Kimimaro and others to set off, otherwise it will be too late. How could I forget the money I paid for my life? Come in. Orochimaru entered the internet cafe, and Liang closed the door by the way. It's really interesting. Jiraiya comes during the day and you come at night. Did you guys agree on this? Oh, is Jiraiya back? It looks like things are getting a little tricky. In order to achieve his goal, after sitting down, Liang directly reminded Orochimaru that Jiraiya had returned to the village. Konoha village with Jiraiya and Konoha village without Jiraiya are two completely different concepts. Even Orochimaru, when facing Sarutobi Hiruzen and Jiraiya at the same time, did not have the confidence to kill one of them. Instead, he had to think about how to run away. But running away was impossible. He couldn't let Jiraiya ruin the plan he had planned for so long. If you still want to continue, you have to think about how to deal with Jiraiya, or how to hold him back. Don't worry, I understand. Orochimaru may not have much confidence in killing Jiraiya, but if he wants to hold Jiraiya back, there are many ways. Okay, enough idle talk. Here are the things I want. Wait a minute. Ugh, in front of Liang, the snake opened his mouth wide and spit out a scroll and a small box from his mouth. I say, can you not be so disgusting? Clean. Looking at the slime on the scroll and the small box, Liang directly used a system skill to remove the liquid on the two items. The boss is really unfathomable. Orochimaru didn't think much of Liang's move. After all, he had long known that Liang was very powerful. Now it was just cleaning up the items. No big deal. This is the scroll that records the forbidden technique of impure world reincarnation. And the small box contains my life buying money. Liang opened the box first and then counted the money inside. The reason why he didn't open the scroll first was because he believed that Orochimaru would not lie to him. Orochimaru probably wouldn't want to know the consequences of lying to him. This is just a small amount. The money in the box was actually not small, 20 million taels. but Liang was a little dissatisfied. Orochimaru, one of the 3 great ninjas, is now the leader of the Sound Village. Your life is only worth 20 million taels? Are you looking down on me or yourself? Boss, don't be angry. Perhaps seeing that Liang was a little dissatisfied, Orochimaru immediately said, this 20 million is just the first payment. There will be a second payment after a while. Why not pay it all at once? Giving a life buying money and paying it in installments is too low for a boss. I can't help it. I have used the funds given by the daimyo of Shinseigo for experiments. At present, I can only take out 20 million taels. I will definitely send it to you as soon as the daimyo of Shinseigo allocates funds next time. Okay. Hearing that Liang agreed to this payment plan, Orochimaru was inexplicably relieved. It's getting late. I'll leave first. After seeing Orochimaru off, Liang opened the scroll and began to check the forbidden technique of impure world reincarnation. Sure enough, I can't understand anything. As soon as he opened the scroll, Liang looked at the ghostly scribbles on it and was completely confused. In fact, this is also normal. If he, an ordinary earthling, can really understand the ninjutsu scroll, it would be a miracle. Forget it. I'll give it to Naruto or Sasuke when the time is right. He closed the scroll and put it in his bedroom. Then Liang opened the system interface and continued to add bricks and tiles to the internet cafe. The space must be expanded, the training room must be increased, some decorations must also be included. 20 million taels, not long in Liang's hands, were all used to optimize the internet cafe. The internet cafe now looks much more comfortable. The entire internet cafe has a total of 54 computers, 5 training rooms, an enlightenment room, and some plants for decorative environment. After expanding the space again, the internet cafe will not be crowded. The layout of the internet cafe now is similar to the internet cafes on Earth before. Next, we should save money to open a branch. There is still 1 week left before the Chunin exam. In the past few days, under Jiraiya's forced relationship building mode, Naruto's relationship with Jiraiya can be said to have made great progress. There is no way, as a best-selling author, Jiraiya has a lot of savings. If 1 barbecue can't handle Naruto, then what about 2 barbecues? If 2 meals don't work, then 3 meals, and if 3 meals don't work, then 4 meals. In short, it's not that Naruto wants to get close to Jiraiya, it's really that Jiraiya gives too much, and he is almost full of barbecue. Seeing that the fire is almost ready, Jiraiya proposed to teach Naruto ninjutsu. Naruto wanted to refuse at first, because you can't teach me, and I have to learn it, so I will lose face. As a result, when he heard that this ninjutsu was invented by the 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze, Naruto immediately agreed. It smells so good. Naruto followed Jiraiya to practice Rasengan, and Kakashi was also struggling whether to teach Sasuke ninjutsu. As the leader of Team 7, he was quite incompetent. To complete the mission, Naruto's Shadow Clone Core was there, so he had nothing to do. To enhance his strength, there was this magical place called Internet Cafe, so he had nothing to do. This situation made Kakashi feel like a nanny who only took money, but did not do any work. In order to change this embarrassing situation, he made up his mind to do something. So, after thinking about it, he thought of teaching the 3 little strong men ninjutsu. Among the 3 little strong men, Naruto's chakra attribute is wind, which is not suitable for him to teach. Sakura has a small amount of chakra, and is good at precise chakra control. She is more suitable for medical ninjutsu, so he is not suitable to teach her. Sasuke's chakra attributes are fire and thunder. Let's not talk about fire, but thunder is more suitable. He has a self-created thunder escape ninjutsu. Looking at the ninja world, it is also a very powerful thunder escape ninjutsu. At this time, he was struggling whether he should teach Sasuke this ninjutsu. Chapter 125 Despicable Jiraiya. Finally, Kakashi decided to teach Sasuke the Chidori ninjutsu. He couldn't really become the nanny of Team 7, right? He had to do something to let others know that he, Kakashi, was the team leader, not the team leader's nanny. In fact, Kakashi was still worried that Sasuke didn't want to learn his Chidori. Facts proved that Kakashi thought too much. As for the means to become stronger, Sasuke accepted all the methods, the more the better. Naruto had Jiraiya to teach him, and Sasuke also had Kakashi to teach him. In the end, only Sakura was left in Team 7 without a place. Fortunately, Kakashi was responsible. He introduced Sakura to the Konoha hospital and asked Sakura to learn medical ninjutsu. As for whether Sakura wanted to learn or not, it was not something he could consider. Sakura naturally wanted to learn, but she was not as rich as Sasuke who could play games every day. If she wanted to improve her strength, she would go to the training room to be tortured. She positioned herself as a support, so she was not opposed to medical ninjutsu. Now Kakashi introduced her to the Konoha hospital to learn medical ninjutsu, and she was naturally very happy. Moreover, she actually saw Karen here. After some questioning, she learned that Karen was arranged by Liang to come in, and she would learn and adapt to the life of Konoha at the same time, and the specific arrangements would be made when the time was right. Knowing that Karen became a member of Konoha, the Kusagakure ninja naturally protested, but their protest was useless, and Sarutobi Hiruzen would not let go of a talent like Karen. He had already discussed with Liang that if Karen wanted to stay in Konoha hospital after a while, she would be a doctor. If Karen wanted to become a ninja again, she would be put in a class. Although a class in the ninja world currently consists of a team leader and 3 genin, there are also cases where there are 5 people in a class. It's just a simple matter of putting one person in, and she can find a reason at that time. The most important thing is to see Karen's choice. Team 7 is in special training here, and the Sand Village trio is also not idle. Recently, Maki asked Gaara and the other 2 not to go to the internet cafe. The main reason was that he was afraid that Gaara's identity would be exposed. The secondary reason was that he felt that Gaara and the other 2 were too close to the Konoha ninjas, and he was afraid that they would not be able to take action at the critical moment. In this way, the Sand Hidden Trio also found a deserted place to start special training. Temari and Kankuro were okay. Their strength was currently good enough to bully Genin, but they would have to give up if they met a stronger Chunin, so they did not show any resistance to the special training. Gaara was more difficult to deal with. His strength could be said to have reached the level of a special Jonin. Even a formal Jonin could not beat Gaara without a special move. With such strength, Gaara naturally felt very bored when facing special training. The main reason was that there was no one in the Sand Hidden Trio that was sent to Konoha who could teach Gaara. Maki's strength was strong enough, but he couldn't play with sand. Fortunately, Gaara's temper had improved a lot. Otherwise, just because these people dared to restrict his actions, Gaara would have a reason to kill them. As the time for the 3rd Chunin exam was getting closer, the people in Konoha village became more and more diverse. In order to maintain the security of the village, Liang's internet cafe business also began to decline. In addition to the eliminated genin like Choji, people like Shikamaru and Hinata were arranged for special training. In fact, Liang wanted to complain. If you want to enhance their strength in a short period of time, why bother to do special training? Is the practice room in this internet cafe just for fun? The actions of these families made Liang realize that these people still did not trust him and the internet cafe. They would rather send family masters to give them special training than let them come to the internet cafe to practice. Well, Liang did not mind this. Anyway, they were the ones who suffered losses. The internet cafe is here. Come or not. Uncle, we are here. After finishing today's special training, Uzumaki, Naruto and Jiraiya came to the internet cafe, wanting to play games to relax. How is it? Have you learned the Rasengan? Jiraiya can only teach Naruto a few ninjutsu. Naruto certainly can't use his own hair ninjutsu. As for other things like toad oil bullets, that requires spiritualism as guidance. The only thing left is the Rasengan. Of course, I'm the genius Uzumaki Naruto. Naruto created a shadow clone in front of Liang and used the Rasengan. Not bad. Creating a shadow clone to help the Rasengan take shape can be said to be because Naruto is not proficient in this ninjutsu and can only take shortcuts. The Rasengan, a no-mark ninjutsu, has a concealing feature and is absolutely useful for sneak attacks. Only Naruto treats the Rasengan as a head-on ninjutsu. By the way, didn't Sasuke come today? After showing Liang the results of his training, Naruto asked about Sasuke. Because both of them were in special training, if they wanted to meet, they had to wait until the end of the special training every day to come to the internet cafe. You are all here. He should be here soon. Naruto has learned the Rasengan. How could Sasuke not have learned the Chidori? Liang estimated that he should be recovering his chakra now and would come here soon. The battle between Naruto and Sasuke in the King of Fighters 97 has become their reserved program. While Sasuke is not here, I will be your opponent. After playing for a few days, Jiraiya also fell in love with the game The King of Fighters 97. It's just that his level is a bit low, and he always likes to find others to play with. Some people respect him, so they give in to him when playing with him, which makes him feel boring. Only Naruto, Sasuke and others are pure and unpretentious, and they are not afraid of his title as one of the three ninjas at all. They are what they should be. Okay, I'll use you to warm up first. Haha, it's not certain who will warm up who. Entering the game, selecting the character, the two began to compete in the game. As I said just now, Jiraiya is a bad player. When facing the three sacred weapon team composed of Yagami, Kusanagi Kyo and Kagura Chizuru, he has no power to fight back at all. Jiraiya is also a strong person. He did not give up, even after being abused by Naruto, and always insisted on making a comeback. God still likes Jiraiya very much. After several rounds of brutal killing, he finally forced Naruto into the final decisive round. Crackling. In the decisive round, Naruto controlled his favorite Yagami. Just like when he was breaking through the levels, Naruto attacked at the beginning, making Jiraiya run for his life. After much effort, he reduced Naruto's Yagami to only half of his health, while his own character only had 1/3 of his health. In order to maintain the dignity of his master, Jiraiya said he would win the round no matter what. Then, he used his left hand to pull open the chair where Naruto was sitting. While Naruto's hands were off the joystick, Jiraiya controlled the game character to attack Yagami. In the end, relying on this despicable and shameless means, Jiraiya won this round. Kinraiya, hahaha, with your mediocre skills, you can never beat me. You need to practice more. Naruto equals convex. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.